Good morning, everybody. It's Ben and Woods, 97.3, the Fan. Happy Tuesday to you. Great to be here with you this morning on what should be another beautiful day in America's finest city. Wish our baseball team was, a little more consistent, but still a long ways to go. I stay remotely, slightly, positive as it pertains to the San Diego Padres. But it's a tough watch. It's a tough watch sometimes, a little frustrating. We'll get into that certainly on this program today. We always do. Introduce the show for you. I'm Woodsy, Stephen Woods, go by Woodsy, have for most of my life. Paul Reindl's our executive producer. I've been calling him Paulie since the day I met him. I'm a big Sopranos fan. And so I've just put the E on the end of everything. Good morning to you, Paulie.
Hey, how are you?
Good to see you. And, of course, Benjamin R. Higgins, your friendly neighborhood sports anchor and news anchor, joins us as well. Ben has another job. He has two full-time jobs. Does the news at night, radio in the morning. He is a multimedia whore, is what you are.
True.
You're a multimedia whore. You should put that as your new...
indiscriminate.
You should put that as your new Twitter bio.
Media around.
Yeah, media whore is what you are.
Local media whore.
Local media slut.
I have all the contractable media diseases. Good morning, Woodsy.
Good morning, buddy.
Woodsy.
How are you?
I don't generally put the E on everybody's name like you do.
Yeah.
I just call you Woods most of the time.
I think it's a baseball thing, too. Play baseball.
It is a baseball
my whole
thing.
life.
Yep.
Everybody. Everybody on the, Bogsy and, who else? I can't remember any of our other teammates. Well, Joey. His name's Joseph. We call him Joey. Everybody's an E.
Bruffy.
Bruffy, yeah, 100%. 100%, man. Good to have you guys in. How was everybody's evening last night? What did you do? I know you watched the game because I did too. What did everybody get up to?
I got invited to the my boss came up to me at work last night and invited me to the UT's Best of Awards show later this month.
Is that right?
Yeah. It's on the 24th, so we'll find out because we are, I believe, nominated for best of some of the
I don't remember
radio categories. Well, last year
we got
we
a
won.
couple.
We won best morning show, best drive time show last year, and I believe we are nominated in a couple of categories this year. So I will get to go and represent us in case there is, that moment where I get to go on stage and doing an acceptance speech. Is there anything you want me to pass along if we win, and you want to say anything to the collective assemblage of people at the best of dinner?
Where is it, first of all?
I asked her, let's see if I remember. It's not at the USS Midway. They used to do it on the Midway.
Okay.
I think it's at she said the Mission Valley Marriott.
Okay, the Marriott.
The Marriott.
Get a little corporate chicken. The corporate chicken.
Oh, yeah.
Corporate green beans, mashed potatoes. Yeah, listen, I have nothing to pass along other than, if we win, thank you to the people that voted for us.
You like us. You really, really like us.
Yeah, I always
Sally
hated that
Field.
speech. I
Yeah.
always thought that was the worst of the worst as far as the acceptance speeches go. Maybe don't, when you go up there, you don't need to make a political statement or anything like that. Just take your award.
Sasheen Littlefeather going up and
Yes,
accepting my trophy.
Just get the award. You can do the Boogie Nights where you go up and say, we promise to keep rocking and rolling and kicking ass every day, and then give them the Dirk Diggler kick and punch. That would be badass if you did that. But no, I think
now the voting's been closed. I'm trying to
see what we're nominated for.
I couldn't find. I tried to Google it. I could not find the final nominations.
Well, so here's the most embarrassing. What if we don't win? What if we don't win? And then you're sitting there.
Because I don't think Odyssey bought the table. So I don't know.
No. Odyssey didn't buy the table.
I'm 100% sure, actually, that they did not.
Hannah says in the chat, didn't they tell you with a wink that you should go last year and then you didn't win? It was a couple of years ago. And I got an email from a girl that used to work here. And she goes, hey, listen.
We had won previously. And then it was like the next year. And we were nominated for like 6 things. It was crazy. Yeah. I go, oh my God, look at all these nominations. And she's like, you guys should come to the dinner. And I go, oh, okay, well, how does that work? And she sent me like the prices to get a table. And I go, no. I go, what day is it on? It's like on a Wednesday. Forget it. Like no chance. They're not going to pay. I'm not that much of an egomaniac to fork out my own money to go to have corporate chicken at a Marriott. And I said, $1,500.
Yeah, $1,500. So I was like, for this little plaque like this? Now, Sydney Sweeney's there and she's handing them out, maybe, but like, there's no chance. So I said, oh, okay, I'm not going to do that. And then I like wrote her back a couple weeks later. I was like, hey, did we win anything? She's like, no. I go, if I had bought the table, would we have won? That's what I always wondered. Like, had I bought the table, would we won? So maybe the fact that you're in the house helps. But I know that over across the street, they're big on it. They will stroke that check to get those plaques. They really, and I'm not saying that there's any correlation. I'm just saying that's something that they allocate money to.
The majority of the winners usually have tables there.
That's what I'm trying to
Draw
say.
Your own conclusion.
You make your own conclusion.
They also probably,
that's your jump to conclusions.
They take it more seriously, so they do a better job of
marketing
their own to their own audience. Hey, make sure you get out the vote. We don't sit here every morning and tell you, hey, make sure you vote for us every day.
I'm pretty sure I don't think we mentioned it once.
I think we mentioned it once when it came out, and that was it. But well, listen. So you're going to go to that?
I am going to go later this month. So we'll find out if it helps being actually in attendance to win one of these things.
Okay. Well, listen. I hope that we do win, and that'd be cool.
I saw Hannah in the chat, as you mentioned. I was glad that someone, at least partially related to the show, got to be inside of Petco Park last night for Manny's big moment, his 2000th career hit. You never knew when it was going to happen. Happened last night. First two at bats, just 2 singles to left field, and there he was sitting on first base, tipping his cap to the crowd. 2,000 hits, won an unbelievable milestone, and she got to be there to see it. Now, you were not.
I was not there. Right. I mean, it's my favorite player, and I was at home watching with the children, and she was there with her girlfriends. Now, she loves Manny too. Our whole house, we are Manny fans. We have a cat named Manny Meowchado. He does not have 2,000 hits. He's not even close to 2,000 hits, but he is maybe the most elite cat. I walked in from work yesterday. He's just sitting luxuriously on the counter with his tuxedo. He wears a tuxedo. And I just walked up and I said, out loud, I go, you are the best cat on the planet. And I just gave him a little pet. So Hannah she did get to go to the game and see it. And I text her, I go, I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous. I would have loved to be there for that moment. Obviously, would love to see the moment and have them win the game. I hated that. I hated that we lost that game, but it was cool, and I was excited for her. But so she went with some girlfriends, which means that it was boys' night in the old Woods house. And, it's never a dull moment. I took the kids to the dentist. Both of my kids are elite dentist goers, and that is – I'm surprised because they will piss and moan about everything on the planet.
I was also usually the person tasked with taking my boys to the dentist because I was off in the middle of the day. So I would take them, and it was torture every time.
Did they not like it?
No.
They jumped right up. They sat
hard.
down.
It was difficult every time.
So brave, both of them.
That's wild.
It was wild. Paulie, to see it's so wild because I get such anxiety when I go to the dentist.
I have dental anxiety as well.
It's the worst. It's just the worst. And they laid down. They got their scene done. It was great. We went to the outdoor cage and we hit some baseballs after, which was really fun. And then we're driving home. And I asked the dreaded question that every parent listening knows exactly what I'm going to ask. So it's about 5:45, right? So what do you guys want for dinner? Taylor in the back goes, I want chicken and rice, and I like the one from Fish Strict, he calls it. It's Fish Strict. He calls it Fish Strict.
Fish Strict.
Because why wouldn't he? So I go, ooh, okay, I can get a piece of fish and some asparagus. It's healthy on a Monday night, Bo goes, I don't want that. I go, shocker. Shocked that you don't want it. Okay, what do you want? He goes, I don't know. I go, it's just chicken and rice, dude. You eat it all the time. Like, you know what to expect. It's chicken and rice. He goes, I don't want it. I go, all right, what do you want then? He goes, I don't know. I go, okay, well, it's 5:45. We're going to get home. We got to hit the showers. We got to get ready for bed. I want to get this dinner ordered. I'm certainly not making dinner. And I said, what do you want? I don't know. Finally, he goes, let's get Benihana. I go, Benihana? It's Monday night. Benihana is a treat. Benihana is like $300 if you do it by DoorDash. Trust me, I know. And I said, we're not getting, do you think you're Jay-Z's kids? Like, we're not getting Benihana on a Monday night. Taylor goes, let's just go to Benihana. I was like, who are you? Who are you guys? Like, what is happening? So we get home and I go, all right, dude, like I got to get dinner ordered. So I'm just going to get the chicken and rice. And Bo goes, I don't want anything. I go, okay, fine. So I go, I'm going to give you one more chance, dude. What do you want for dinner? He goes, I just said nothing. I go, so you're going to not eat? He goes, yes. I go, who are you punishing? Why? Like, it's my job as your father to make sure you eat something. I go, I'm not making you anything else. And listen, I know I probably romanticized my youth. In my mind, in my youth, it was, there's your dinner, boy, eat it. Yes, right? This is for dinner, eat it. But in my mind, because I don't remember my grandmother, my grandfather, my mom ever going, okay, sweetheart, what do you want for dinner? It was, here's meatloaf, here's salmon patties, here's fried fish. Let's do this.
I remember certainly asking, what are we having for dinner tonight?
Sure.
But the decision was already made.
100%. You just want to mentally prepare yourself for meatloaf.
Pork chops.
Pork chop,
meatloaf.
It's
It's beef stroganoff. Was one of my mom's classic dinner items.
Now I know why. It's all you think about. What is it, Paulie?
Stroganoff.
Yeah, it's the only thing that's on his mind. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe when I was 7, I was also like, I don't want this. But I don't think I was. My parents have never said anything other than, yeah, like when there weren't options. You just ate what you got. Or you didn't eat.
Maybe when I was older.
When you were
was more
16.
Of a point where like I could just drive and go get us something if we weren't feeling it or whatever. Like
your mom would say, should I order a pizza?
There would be some options. But as a kid, it was, here's your mac and cheese. Like, here's your
soup,
chicken.
Your stew.
Yeah, whatever we're having. Like
I ate so much stew as a kid.
Love stew.
I love stew too, but I didn't when I was 8.
A nice stew.
Stew.
But there was never options. There was never a menu.
Never. We've given our children too many options in life. There are too many options for them. We do it to like, we don't want to be mean or we don't want to be too tough on them. And there are options. I have options. I can eat whatever I want, but I told this kid, I said, I'm going to order dinner, buddy. This is your shot. I'm not going to go in there and cook you anything special. So do you want dinner? No. Now, I'm not an idiot. I ordered extra because I knew when we sat down and started eating our chicken and rice and our fish and rice, he was leaning over the counter. I go, looks pretty good, doesn't he? He goes, yeah. I go, do you want some? He goes, yes. And he ate it. I go, next time, bro, just do it. Just do it. Just order it. Keep everybody. I go, you're making life a little bit tougher than it has to be right now. And so listen, man, I'm trying to figure this thing out. I know a lot of parents can relate out there, certainly, but yeah, dude, I'm also a big fan of live with the consequences. Like, these are the lessons that you have to teach them of, like, buddy, I gave you a chance. You said no. I'm not going to make my kids starve. Obviously, I'm not a monster, but when we're digging into our meal and you're looking wistfully at it, remember that you had the choice to make that pick.
So Alex in the chat says, you asked them what they wanted. Your first of many mistakes.
Damn it.
But hang on.
He just called me an idiot, too.
Hang on, though.
Because Alex, do you want to have sex with me? Because no one has ever talks about me more.
I don't.
It's weird.
I don't necessarily agree 100%. Sometimes there's just an easy solution. Like, both kids want the same thing, and it's easy, and it's going to make them happy, and you're like, this is going to make me happy too. And you're hoping for that perfect moment where they both say, oh yeah, that sounds really good. And you're like, oh yeah, that works for me too. I'm glad someone thought of it. And you just made everybody's life happy and easy. And you're always reaching for that moment. But so many times, of course, you end up with what you got last night. Disagreement between the two kids.
Cole says, my dad legit would let me not eat. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm kind of wired that way to be like, hey, bro, just now, see, I don't do what Chris does. I used to. Chris says I couldn't leave the table till my plate was clean. Slept at the table a few times. I've learned that bit. Hey, man, I'm going to give you this meal. Eat what you can, and we'll just move from there.
I think that does more harm than good.
I do too. So I think, but maybe Alex is right.
It's hard to know. What's the difference between being overly picky and just not being that hungry? It's okay to not be that hungry sometimes and eat less. In fact, we all probably should learn to eat a little bit less from time to time and back away from the plate and not just eat it because it's sitting in front of us.
So did I screw up then driving home and turning around in the backseat and saying, hey, what do you guys want for dinner? I should have just ordered the chicken and rice. And then when they got home, said, hey, we're jumping in the shower. Dinner's on the way. What'd you get? I got chicken and rice. That's what I'm going to do.
Because as you found out, once they smell it, changes everything.
It really does.
Don't even tell them anything until they smell it. And then they'll already be kind of primed for what you're having because that smells kind of good. And they're ready to go.
You see these grays right here on the side of my head?
Yeah.
They got bow wood. They got bow woods all over them, dude. I'm going to have silver wings on the side of my head. All right. So should have given them 2 options at most. Do you guys want chicken and rice or do you want fish? Right? And let them pick. Ooh, give them a bad option that I know they hate. And chicken and rice then sounds amazing.
Steer them in the right direction.
Steer them in the right direction. I'm really tough, dude. It's really hard. I'm having the hardest time. I really am. Like, I think part of it too is summer. There's a lot of time together. And I just, I feel like I'm laying in bed last night. I go, I love you both. I'm going to watch the game in here. You guys go play. I was like, I need 20 minutes to shut the mother down and get back to neutral.
There is certainly a reality that the effort to be a good parent sometimes makes you a bad parent. Like trying too hard to be a good parent is where so many of us go wrong.
The teach says it gets crazier as they get older. People say that. And I'm like, okay, but they're more fully developed. They know my cues more. They know, oh, dad maybe not in the best mood. Let's just eat the chicken and rice and zip our lips. I don't know. And she's probably right. But I'm telling you, man, it's every night is a constant struggle.
I like this from Danielle. She says, my parents never gave us options. I ate whatever my mom cooked. However, if my mom wasn't home, she would tell my dad and I what to make, and then we'd just go to McDonald's.
That's elite. I love moments like that. But yeah, so we ate the chicken and rice, and I had the fish, and it was lovely. It was delicious. Now my parents get to town today. My parents are coming in, mom and dad, flying in from Texas, and they want to do camp for the kids. Basically, and I just told them, I said, they're all yours. They are yours. So they're gonna come today. We're gonna have dinner tonight, and then all right, we'll see you guys Friday when you drop them off if you want. So. Now it'll just be my wife and I arguing about what to have for dinner for the next few nights. But no, excited to see my folks, man. Mom's feeling great. Dad's got some pretty big surgery coming up when he gets back from this trip. So it'll be great to see them. And my kids are elated to see their Gabby and their pops today. So very, very cool.
All right, you ready to get going here?
Yeah, let's get into
talking about last night's game, Manny's milestone, and more. We will set the menu. Give you a look ahead at what's coming up in the next 4 hours. We'll do that right after Kelly's first check of traffic this morning here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danek.
Rough start for North 805 travelers heading toward the Golden Triangle. Crash before Nobel, blocking all but the right lane. Good morning. Several vehicles involved in this one. If you can manage northbound 5 toward the Golden Triangle, might be a good idea. Again, that crash, North 805 before Nobel. We're also getting reports of a hit and run in Fallbrook, southbound 15, just before Mission Road. Not showing if any lanes are blocked. I'm Kelly Danek with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Got an especially busy first half of our Tuesday program today. I'll tell you why. Obviously, we'll get to our Padres crap up. Unfortunately, baseball is not a movie. Sometimes it feels like a movie script when your favorite player hits the walk-off home run on a perfect night. The Padres have had a few of those scripted nights where it just went perfectly. Last night, of course, when Manny gets his 2000th hit, it's supposed to come in a great win. Everyone's feeling good about it. Didn't work out that way. Padres couldn't get a big clutch hit when they needed it and ended up losing to the Arizona Diamondbacks. So we'll go through the game that left us feeling fairly disappointed at the end of the evening, and we'll talk about Manny's legacy and where he's headed, likely to Cooperstown at some point, but where he stands now at age 33 after celebrating his birthday a couple days ago and a big milestone last night. So lots of Manny talk here in the first half of the program. But as we promised, we're also going to give away some more tickets to tomorrow's Padres Diamondbacks game. It is the giveaway night. They've got the what is the hat? Padres
it's the
City Connect straw hat.
Straw hat
that Don Orsillo has been showing you on his mini yacht out on San Diego Bay. Everyone's going to be wearing this all summer long. You need to get yours, though. Be one of the first 40,000 fans at Petco Park tomorrow for Padres DBacks, but you can win them by listening to Ben and Woods here, and we'll do that in the first half of the program. And normally on a Tuesday, we have Jesse Agler, the Incorporator, at 8:35, but Jesse requested a little bit of an earlier time slot this morning. So he's going to join us at 7:35, and we'll talk to Jesse and do the Incorporator. So that's a lot to get to.
Jesse can do literally whatever
he
wants.
Can.
Whatever he wants.
Yes, he can.
He texted me yesterday. He's like, hey, I'm really sorry. Thanks for being flexible. I'm like, don't you
never
apologize to us.
Guy's been coming on this show forever.
Every week during the season,
sick,
since we got here.
Sad, mad, happy, whatever.
On the road,
at home, at the
yeah.
Fister. He calls from the Fister all the time.
Contractually
Fister?
So.
Yeah, absolutely.
You may think, maybe
they have to do
contract or with the contract at the radio station that he has to do some sort of weekly appearance. He does not. He simply does it because he is a nice guy. He is nice to us, and he likes our tier ones. So he comes on every week. So if you see him, tell him that you appreciate him greatly.
Please, man.
For all of the time that he has spent with us over the last few years on Tuesdays, especially. So we'll have Jesse, and then the second half, we can kind of regroup. We'll play Take on Woods, and we'll talk about what's going on in the rest of Major League Baseball and more. But the first half, definitely jam-packed this morning. So let's get right to it. Padres Wrap-Up, Manny's Milestone, all coming up next with Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. GEGE 000-466. For a full list of games and rules, play at 7 Mile Casino. Visit 7milecasino.com.
First up, though, if you ever can't decide what to eat, 7 Mile Casino is actually kind of a tough decision because do you order off of the Sammy's regular menu, which is the pizzas, the pastas, the salads? Those are fantastic. Or do you go off the 24/7 players menu, which is the Kung Pao chicken, the Asian pork chop, the beef and broccoli?
I know what I'm getting.
It's all really, really good, though.
I know exactly.
That's tough.
I know exactly what I'm getting. I believe you can order out from there as well. You can. I think Rod in our chat does it all the time. He gets it to go from 7 Mile Casino. That's how good the Kung Pao chicken is. It's phenomenal. But if you just want to go, have lunch, play some cards, have a beer, whatever, great place to go. Right there off the 5 Chula Vista, just 7 minutes from downtown. It's our place. Been a long-time supporter of Ben and Woods. We really appreciate them. Do us a favor. And if next time you're in the area or, downtown, you're 7 minutes away.
Yeah, beautiful patio. It's a great place to hang out with friends, and you don't have to make that giant drive to one of the casinos that are deep into the East County with the parking and the heat now in the summer. You got the bay breezes, and then you've got the cards, high limit action as well. It's all at 7 Mile Casino, just 7 minutes from downtown.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Jamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
Kind of the same story for your San Diego Padres when they lose. Don't get any hits and runners in scoring position. Leave too many guys on base. 0 for 6 last night. 9 left on, and a couple of critical times, bases loaded, where they did not, get the big hit that would have probably made the difference in the game. In particular, late with Jose Iglesias coming up late in the game with the bases loaded, pops out.
That 99 on the hands will get you every time.
After, the relief pitcher for the Diamondbacks just was not able to find the strike zone. And then, of course, Elias Diaz strikes out on a ball outside the zone after, letting the one right down the middle on 3-1 go.
3-1 cookie.
I can certainly see being careful, not wanting to chase on 3-1, but, Elias Diaz has some power. And you have to be looking for that pitch to try to win the game with a grand slam there. He has that ability. You don't see it often, but he certainly has that ability. Swung at the wrong pitch again.
Honestly, you don't need a grand slam there. You don't. You need a good productive at bat. You need to hit that ball in the gap, score 2 runs.
Well, I agree with you. Like, but when you're ahead in the count 3-1,
yeah, that's a pitch to hammer.
And the reliever that you're facing has shown very little command. You should be looking for a middle fastball that you can drive hard.
Yep.
If it goes out of the park, great.
Yeah.
But he was looking to walk there because he has been struggling so badly. And then he got to 3-2, and he goes, I better protect now, and swung at one that was
100 miles an hour outside.
Just a little bit outside. But, it's understandable, but that's the way in losses things have been going for the Padres as of late.
Yeah, you watch Zach Gallen come out and struggle. Struggle with command. You watch Zach Gallen, you go, oh, okay, like we can absolutely get this, especially you, Darvish, coming out and, getting him 1, 2, 3, 10 pitch first inning was so beautiful to see you back on the mound. And you looked at it and you go, all right, man, they're going to ride this and we got runners on in the first inning and then nothing, and I don't know what it is, man, other than, there's some guys at the top that got to get going. I'm seeing a lot of people already in the chat talking about moving Jackson down. Here's the problem. Where? To where? And who hits there then? I legitimately feel bad for Mike Schilt. I do. I don't know the right way to construct this lineup for maximum hotness of player. I really don't, because he tried to move Toddy out, got him going a little bit. Toddy's been going a little bit better. Jackson has fallen off the cliff right now. Luis Ariz in the cleanup spot is damn near a miracle. I mean, he continues to get knocks and drive-in runs. He's your RBI machine right now. Gavin Sheets had a bit of a rough night last night. That's going to happen from time to time. He's been pretty good this year. Where do you hit Jackson? Would you hit him 5, 6, and then who goes into the 2? You go back to Luis Ariz, but why? He's driving in runs. I think Manny 3 is pretty steady. I just don't know what you do. I have no idea.
Edgar in the chat says bench these superstars.
You can't, man. You can't.
I do think Jackson Merrill would benefit from a day off or two.
No, the
problem is you have such a thin bench.
They'd play center field fine, but
you don't have anybody that's going to produce in their stead. You don't have what you had last season, and that was a David Peralta, a Donovan Solano, who could come in and spell guys for a day or two, and you didn't give up that much production. In fact, some days you got more production out of those guys because they were used properly and effectively by Mike Schilt. He does not have those cards to play this year. That's not really on Mike Schilt. That's on AJ Preller and not nailing enough of those back-end roster guys this year.
I know nobody wants to hear it. Look, Jackson Merrill has struggled this year offensively. And nobody wants to hear it, but I really feel like there's a little bit of bad luck involved, where it feels like once a game, at least, he is smoking a ball.
He hits one seed a game,
and it's right at somebody.
Like or an incredible catch.
If
from
some
Alec
of those fall, like, it could change everything, and they're just not falling right now.
Look, Edgar, there are some decent points in here, man. Honestly, Edgar says, look, bring up somebody from the minors and they're hungry and broke. Okay. Like, they've done that.
Jackson's so hungry for a hit.
He really
it's not a
every time he gets out, he is screaming.
It's not
as he gets
It's not a want to thing. It is I'm absolutely lost up here and I'm swinging out of my shoes at pitches I shouldn't. And then I decide to be patient and take. And what do I take? I take 94 down the middle, and you can see it, man. He's frustrated. Now, I did see the point made on Twitter last night. We might have talked about it. He was concussed. He was concussed and came off the concussion list a week ago.
He was injured, then came
concussed,
back, then concussed.
So I think, that may have something to do with it.
If the Padres weren't so desperately in need of having these guys playing every day, and honestly,
if we're the Dodgers, you can sit them for a day.
Not just sit them for a day. I know that they signed him to a major contract. You could send him down to AAA for a week or two.
Oh God, you're crazy.
No, I don't think it's the craziest thing. It is right now.
Right now,
you have no one to replace him.
Yeah.
If you had guys, if you had a David Peralta, you had guys that were producing, and Jackson, you could afford. If you had a 7-game lead in the wild card race, and you could afford to do it, getting him some pitching that's not quite as nasty, getting some confidence back, knowing, hey, just go down, take some swings. You'll be right back up. You're still, obviously a major part of our plans for the future. He needs something good to happen, and nothing as good is happening right now for Jackson Merrill. They can't do that. They don't even have the remote possibility of doing that with Jackson Merrill right now, so it's not going to happen. But if circumstances were different, I don't think it would be the worst thing right now for Jackson Merrill.
But the other thing that you're not factoring in is that, what he brings defensively is fantastic. So he's still contributing on that side of the ball, just like Toddy was when he was struggling with the bat. It's still bringing it defensively. You want him out there. You feel like, I'm not worried about him. I'm sad for him. That's how I feel. Like I'm sad for him. I know he's better than this. I know he wants it.
It's not being mad at him.
No.
But there's frustration in that this team isn't winning without Jackson Merrill figuring it out.
We saw him just adjust so,
and that's a lot of pressure to put on a 21
rookie season. And we got caught up in the thought that Jackson Merrill is immune
to a slump.
to a slump and a sophomore slump.
Yep.
It's a cliche, but it's a cliche for a reason. Look at the other dugout. Corbin Carroll, pretty big sophomore slump last year.
Massive.
Is absolutely fine. He's still a great player. I think they're a pretty good comp between the two, actually. And I have no doubt that Jackson Merrill is going to emerge on the other side as one of the top players in baseball and a perennial all-star for the Padres. But baseball will get you, at times. You just have to go through that learning curve. Mike Schultz talked about it after the game. No one, Manny Machado, Fernando Tatis Jr., Xander Bogaerts earlier in their career, none of them are immune from the learning curve that you have to go through.
Yeah.
And he is going through it right now. Hopefully, you can get through it as fast as possible. Maybe even before the end of this season, he can be on the other side of the sophomore slump. But he's going through it right now.
It's not an uncommon tale in baseball
Not
where
at all.
a guy comes onto the scene and tears it up and catches everybody by storm. And then the pitchers catch up. Whether that's year 1 or year 2, the pitching in Major League Baseball will catch up to you. Then it's how do you adjust? Do they just own you from then on, or do you adjust as the hitter and then get back to figuring it out? I have all the confidence in the world that Merrill will.
I do too.
It's tough right now.
It's just tough to watch, and to watch him go for the first 3 ABs, swinging out of his shoes at pitches out of the zone the first 2, and then staring at that one down the middle, just going, "Oh my god!"
He needs a moment.
He's in his dome, dude.
He needs a moment, and he's like desperately searching for it.
Trying too hard, man. Just trying too hard, pressing too much. Lost a little bit of the joy, and it's not fun when you're scuffling and you want so badly to win for the city and for yourself and for your teammates. That's the one thing somebody in the chat said too. These guys don't look like they're having a lot of fun this year. And, I think winning breeds fun. I think honestly, I think offensive outbursts breed fun. And they haven't had an offensive outburst.
They didn't look like they were
in a
having
while.
fun in the first half of last year when they were scuffling
they're
around
500.
500. They looked like they were having fun in the second half of last year when they won
100%.
like 3 out of every 4 games.
Yeah.
Of course. If they get on a run, they will look like they're having fun
I would
again.
Just thinking about it off the top of my head this year, I would say that when they have the good moments worth having fun for, I feel like I've seen them jumping out of the dugout having fun. They just haven't had a lot of those moments.
It's just a
even
grind.
the wins.
The grind.
Even
They're
if you win
grinds.
5 out of 6, they're winning them 2-1, 3-2. Like those are tough games to get all loose and excited and fun about. Like,
you're gritting your
like
teeth.
this, man. It's tough.
Tight beehole, as they say.
Oh, yeah.
These are definitely topics that we can address this Friday on our Manager's Report with Mike Schilt. It's at 9 a.m. here on Ben & Woods. The Manager's Report is refreshed by Eco Water SoCal. Try alkaline water for just $9.95 a month. Eco Water SoCal, keeping it soft since 1925. There were some positive last night. We can go through them during our Padres highlights here with Jesse and Tony, Darvish, Manny Machado. It's all coming up. Don't go away. Ben & Woods here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Well, if you normally take North 805 toward the Golden Triangle, might want to consider taking northbound 5 instead. Got this accident involving several vehicles past Governor, blocking the 3 left lanes. Whole thing's got you pretty much in the single digits from Balboa. That's North 805 just past Governor. Fortunately, no other problems on our roads at this time. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben & Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
It's a shame if they lose.
You got a problem.
Oh, a shame indeed.
I couldn't agree more.
Here are the lowlights from yesterday's game.
What the heck happened? Are you kidding me?
Can't even believe it.
It's the Padres
Wrap-Up.
presented by Hamul Casino. Things are about to get real with the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With gorgeous rooms and exciting new eats and drinks. It gets real this summer at Hamul Casino Resort, the player's place.
We'll give it 16 minutes of salt, and then we'll, get back on the bump and figure it out.
1-2, check swing on a pitch right at the knees. They appeal, he went, and a 1-2-3, top of the first inning with a couple of Ks. Welcome back, Darvish. 3-2, they do not go, and Arise hits it on the ground right to Naylor. He goes down to second, that's one. Perdomo's turn with Gallen covering, bounces off Arise, trickles into right field. Tatis will come in to score, and Luis appears to be injured. Padres take a 1-0 lead. Darvish set and ready on 0-2. Naylor takes off. Darvish had him picked, came home, and a ground ball fair up the third baseline. That'll roll all the way to the corner. Naylor hits third base. He will be waved there, and he'll come in to score as Sheets' throw goes into Machado. RBI double, Eugenio Suarez, And the Diamondbacks have tied it 1-1 here in the second. Darvish delivers, and a sharp grounder through the left side, base hit. Carroll will come in and score. And an RBI knock for Lourdes Gurriel Jr. And Arizona ahead for the first time tonight. It's 2-1. Machado on the verge of history, the 0-1. Hard hit grounder, left side, off the glove of the diving Perdomo into left, and number 2,000 for Manny Machado in his major league career. Here's the 0-2 in the air to deep right center field. There a long run into the gap, and this one gonna go. Josh Naylor over that Adam Jones wall in right center field, a long 2-run homer. 4-1 Diamondbacks here in the top of the 5th inning. And a big night already for Josh Naylor, the former Padre. Squares to bunt, and on 0-2, he gets it down up the third baseline. McCann picks it up. Catcher throws to first in time. And a successful sacrifice for Maldonado with 2 strikes. It goes 2-4. Runner on second, 2 outs. Malta trying to keep this game 4-2. Pitch to Carroll, ripped on a line into right center field. That's in the gap. Going to bounce and roll all the way to the wall. McCann has scored. Carroll's trying for 3. Cronenworth has the relay slip out of his hand, and an RBI triple for Corbin Carroll, his 10th triple of the season. And the Diamondback lead is back to 3. It's 5-2. 2 for 3. Collected his 2,000th hit back in the 4th inning, and now he launches one to deep left field. Grichuk is back at the wall. It's going to go! What a night for Manny Machado. Collected his 2,000th career hit in the 4th, and now his 15th home run of the season, leading off in the bottom of the 8th. Padres need some base runners here in the 9th inning. 2-1 pitch, chopped to third base, charged by Suarez. He's got it, goes to second in time, throw to first is in time, and an around-the-horn double play to end the game. Bang, bang at second with Fernando going in feet first, but apparently they got him. Mike Schilt does not appear as if he will challenge, and with that, this game comes to a close. Not exactly one for the Art Museum here tonight, but the Diamondbacks take game 1 by a final of 6-3.
Yeah, definitely. Special and honored to be a part of that list and accomplish something pretty special. So definitely would have wanted the victory, but stepping away from that, it's kind of pretty cool.
Pretty meaningful what you're able to do in front of San Diego fans here.
For sure, it's awesome. Doing it in front of the home crowd is definitely a lot better, and hopefully there's more.
Yeah, I was bummed for obviously happy for Manny, but bummed they couldn't get a win last night, man.
Yeah, he had a great night.
Yep.
Obviously, double play to end the game, notwithstanding 3 hits, home run, and just scorched the ball 3 times off the bat. Really looked good at the plate last night for Manny, so he can feel good about his 2,000th hit performance that he did what he could do.
It's so insane, too, because, Manny got off to such a slow start power-wise, right? But, he's been hitting all year. He really has, and he's had a lot of clutch knocks power-wise. You're like, man, I don't think he's going to get to his number. What's he at right now? He's at 15. We're not at the break. What's his number? It's 30. It's always 30. What did he get last year? 29? It's the craziest thing when his career is over and you go back and you look and you go 30, 100, 30, 100, 30, 100, 30, 100. It's bananas how consistent he is at the plate.
When he was sitting on 3 home runs in mid-May.
Yes. You're like, oh boy.
And we were telling you he's going to be okay.
He'll get there.
Even I would have lost a lot of money on who's going to lead the Padres in home runs at the All-Star break, because he's now tied for the team lead in home runs. No, he'll be okay, but he's not going to catch Tatis or Sheets here in the first half of the season. It required both Tatis and Sheets not adding on to their totals and Manny going on an absolute tear. But here we are, start of July, and Manny Machado is now the team co-leader in home runs.
So this is pretty insane, man. After that single off of Arizona Diamondbacks starter Zach Gallen for his 2,000th hit, he is the 17th player in history to log 350 bombs and 2,000 hits by age 33. Lou Gehrig, Jimmy Fox, Mel Ott, Willie Mays, Mickey Mantle, Eddie Matthews, Hank Aaron, Frank Robinson, Orlando Cepeda, Jim Rice, Eddie Murray, Ken Griffey Jr., Vladimir Guerrero, A-Rod, Albert Pujols, and Miguel Cabrera. The company doesn't get much more elite than those guys. I mean, truly. Like, are they all Hall of Famers except for maybe A-Rod?
Is not in, and I don't think Miggy's not in yet. He's going to be in though.
Pujols is in. Yeah,
and he's going to get in. So, he's absolutely on a Hall of Fame trajectory.
It's crazy, man.
Good company.
That's really good company.
I do think I think there's a debate over whether he'll get to 3,000. It takes so many hits. Good luck.
I mean, he's on pace for it. He's absolutely on pace.
Just turned 33, and he's got 999 to go.
He doesn't have to keep up the pace he's on now. He just has to have continued solid Manny seasons, and he should get there with a couple of years left in his contract with the Padres.
I don't know if this math is accurate, but Pedro did send this over to us. He said if Manny averages 138 hits and 23 home runs for the remainder of his contract the next 8 years, he'd end up being the all-time leader in both categories for third baseman. He has averaged 142 and 25. So he needs 134 and 23 a year.
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely
That's within
doable.
reach for sure.
You know, he said last night, I think he said, they talked about on the broadcast, one of these days, they all run together, how he's feeling better than when he was 21 years old. He takes phenomenal care of his body. He makes sure that he's on the field every single night. I do think at some point, in the next couple of years, while we all appreciate the posting that he does, probably see a few more nights of him, DHing, getting off his feet. Speaking of his feet, what do his feet look like right now? He has been shooting balls off of his toes every game for the last week. They have to look like mangled car wrecks.
By the way, that's not a coincidence. Manny has done such a good job this year of laying off the outside sliders, which used to be his where kryptonite. Pitchers would attack him. And he's laid off of so many of those that they're now trying to attack him with change-ups that dive in toward his feet, which means when he swings and hits them, he oftentimes hits himself in the foot or the ankle, which is very painful. And we saw it last night, and he still nearly drove one out of the ballpark on the next swing, when he, made one of his 2 outs last night. But he's a marvel. He really is.
He is. He's absolutely a marvel. Kurt says, what year do you think he becomes the official DH? Honestly, Kurt, I think you see Manny at first base in a couple of years. I don't think he necessarily wants to. But I have no doubt that he'll be really, really good at it if he decides, hey man, I can continue to be in the lineup every day more if I'm playing first base. I bet you when he's 35, they kind of look at that and say, hey, get across the diamond. Who's going to be better at picking balls over there than him? It's going to be great.
I assume that Ken in our chat is also the one that tweeted me last night about Manny not diving for ground balls yesterday. He had a couple that I don't think were even within reach. Yeah. There was one maybe he could have gotten to. Manny is not – I mean, Manny dives for balls.
Sure.
He dives for balls all the time. He is always running a advanced calculus in his head.
Correct.
About what can I actually get to, what is worth in this situation in the game. If he dove for every single ball that you wanted him to dive for, he would play 120 games a year.
Right. It's just the way it is.
And his calculus is I am more valuable playing in 160 games and occasionally those. Yeah. You may not like it, but it's an absolutely valid strategy.
Yeah, there's trust.
That probably is more valuable to the Padres than having him go all out and dive for every single play and run out every single routine grounder to short the entire season and knowing he would never survive the wear and tear on his body throughout the year. That's the calculus. You can hate it.
Well, and that's the trust.
Absolutely can hate it if you want.
That's the trust I think that he's earned. He certainly earned it from me. I just kind of defer to his expertise on matters of playing third base and really a lot on the baseball field. Does he deserve to be questioned sometimes? Sure. Absolutely. He's had terrible at-bats in big situations. They all do. Everybody does. Bryce Harper does. Shohei Ohtani does.
But his career clutch numbers are very, very good.
Yeah, no doubt. So I love that moment for him last night. Super stoked to see it. Obviously wish we could have grabbed a win for him. But I think, Darvish, some really encouraging signs out of Darvish.
I want to talk more about him. I felt equally as bad for him because it could have been a really special night last night.
Yep.
He was everything and more that I could have hoped for.
He had Josh Naylor K'd up, pitch right there. Boom, lit up, strike 3. Nope. next pitch walks, and Naylor comes around to score. And yeah, man, it just it didn't even snowball. He threw up gave up 1 run in each inning. Walked more guys than he would like, certainly, but some of that wasn't on him. But it's nice to see him. And obviously this morning, we're all holding a good thought that he wakes up feeling great. But he was fired up to be out there again. He looked great. He was spinning it like he always does.
Oh, I'll give you my hot take about you, Darvish, from last night. He surprised me.
Yeah, good.
He surprised me last night. We'll get to that. Also have some breaking news that's going to impact the SDSU basketball team coming up next year on The Fan. The Aztecs just got a tough new conference of opponent that they're going to have to face this coming season. Welcome back. It's Ben and Woods. We'll talk a little bit about you, Darvish, here in just a moment. This hour, 97.3 The Fan is brought to you by Staples, but this is breaking news, guys, from Ross Dellinger from Yahoo, who just tweeted that the Mountain West, remember, this is still the last season that San Diego State will compete in the Mountain West. They're off to the Pac-12, but they have one more year. Mountain West has finalized an agreement with Grand Canyon for the school to join the league as a member this fall, a year earlier than anticipated. GCU, which does not play football, is expected to be added to the Mountain West Conference schedules for 2025-2026. Is this good? Is this bad? We don't really know. I can tell you, though, that was it up to Brian Dutcher and the other schools that are leaving the Pac-12, they would want nothing to do with Grand Canyon and having to go play in that insane little arena they play in Phoenix. They're one of the toughest home teams to beat in America, and they will immediately be one of the top contenders in the Mountain West in basketball this coming season.
So I'm looking at the head-to-head for the Aztecs and against Grand Canyon.
Can you
guess?
I would guess.
First of all, how many times have they played?
Like 3 or 4?
More.
I was going to say like 12
no,
or 13.
Less. 5. 5 total. GCU is 4-1 against them since 1980. The last time the Aztecs won was November 13th, 2019. They smoked them 86-61 at Viejas. But last, let's see, in the 23-24 season, they beat the Aztecs 79-73. Before that, they hadn't played since 16-15 and then 1980.
And figure the Mountain West not happy about the teams that are leaving. They are not going to do any scheduling favors for San Diego State and Colorado State and Fresno State and Utah State. Aztecs will have to go to GCU. It will probably be a very tough trip. I have been there. I called a game at their arena.
Is that where you got run
No,
over?
that was the NCAA tournament covering San Diego State. This is actually, I called a USD game, and they actually won at GCU. They shocked the student section, but I was stunned when I got there. I arrived. There were thousands of kids. So they have like 100,000 students.
Where
at
is
GCU. It's in Phoenix, right in the center of Phoenix.
We drive
near
right
the
past
Doo-Doo Motel, actually.
on the way to Peoria. I think it's on the way to Peoria. It's right off the freeway.
Private, for-profit school. It's like run like a business, but they use basketball as like their marketing tool.
Yeah.
And to get the great atmosphere, they essentially bribe the students. They put on this giant like barbecue food spread for all the students to come and go to the games for free.
Yeah.
And then it is packed and it is loud and they scream and stand the entire game. It's only about 5,000 seats. It is not a fun place to play as an opposing team if you're in college basketball.
At least in the chat says, I used to think Grand Canyon was one of those online schools.
Well, you can.
I did as well.
You can go online, but they have
they?
That. I mean, the 100,000, I'm sure, is many of them are online somewhere else. Actual campus, which does exist, with the arena and everything, is in Central Phoenix.
Carlos said, just wait till DeVry joins the conference next
University of Phoenix.
University of Phoenix, exactly. Man, it's good. It's good for the Aztecs. I mean, yeah, if you lose, it's not, but I mean, you're playing really good competition, and they always play really tough out of conference, non-conference games. So you go into that place and get that dub. That is huge.
Which is why it's not necessarily a bad thing.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
I think it's a good
with
thing.
the fear of knowing a good team's coming, that also gives you the opportunity to add a quality win.
Or one of those losses that doesn't murder you because it's a really tough place to play. Like it's a win-win.
It's tough, but generally the rest of the country doesn't really know about them. So
true.
It looks, you lost to who?
To who? Right.
Grand Canyon? What's that? It doesn't look that
It
good
doesn't
on the
look
resume.
well. No. It doesn't. It doesn't sound great.
It doesn't sound that good.
They factor it in when they make their decisions. Yeah.
Yeah. So it'll be just the one season, and obviously gone to the new Pac-12, but they will be playing Grand Canyon University this season.
That's cool. I love it. I think that's great. And again, definitely a really tough place to play. Probably a pretty fun place to play as well.
It was an interesting night for sure.
Yeah.
My night at Grand Canyon University.
Let's talk some you.
All right, let's talk about you, Darvish, because he surprised me last night in a good way. And long after, at least my belief, hopefully, is that long after we've forgotten about a 6 to 3-loss to the Arizona Diamondbacks, and you gave up 2 runs in 3 2/3 innings and took the L. Yesterday will be remembered as a positive turning point in the season for the San Diego Padres, because if Yu Darvish comes back and throws the ball like we saw last night, he's a top of the rotation type starter again for the San Diego Padres.
Yes.
He had the velocity, he had the movement, he had the command that looked like Yu Darvish, like vintage classic Yu Darvish, like he looked at the end of last season. There is dominant baseball and still ahead for Yu Darvish based on what I saw last night, and that is undoubtedly a huge win for the Padres yesterday.
Yeah, no question, man. I mean, I think his top velo last night was like 93. There's room to build on that, but when you throw 93,
I saw 96.
Oh, did you? I thought I saw 93.
A few 96s on the TV broadcast, at least.
Well, I had 2 demons running around. I was trying my best to pay attention, but I thought Mud said 93 top velo last night. I could be wrong. But yeah, he did get squeezed. That pitch to Naylor was certainly, some of that falls on Martin Maldonado as well. Ball's right there, dude. Stick it, and it's over. Naylor ends up coming around to score. He was more demonstrative than I've seen him. He looked like the adrenaline was really taking over. He really did. I thought he was very calm. I mean, but again, it is your first start back. It is, July, and you want to play well. You only have 65, 70 pitches to work with, so you want to make the most out of them. But yeah, that 96 top velo. Okay, yeah, I mean, that's fantastic, man. And spinning it the way that he does, and he was spinning. He had guys way out of the zone. They did put together a couple good ABs off of him, but you know what, man? Baby steps for Yu Darvish. If Shohei's getting baby steps, Yu Darvish is going to get baby steps right now. Went out, put up 2 single runs, and unfortunately the offense couldn't pick him up. But yeah, him waking up this morning and feeling good and feeling right is all I'm worried about today.
And if he does, expect him to make another start this weekend against the Philadelphia Phillies and hopefully be an integral part of the Padres rotation in the second half of the season.
No question. Yeah, Carlos says, did you see when he had Alec Thomas scoot over while he was on deck? Did you see that?
Yeah.
It was weird at first, and then I realized
Thomas was clock blocking.
He was clock blocking. He's a clock blocker. And if you have anybody in your life that's a clock blocker, you know how frustrating a clock blocker could be.
You don't want those people in your life.
You don't need clock blockers around you. You really, really don't. At first, I thought he was moving him. I'm like, hey, you need to be in the circle. But then I go, well, your teammates with Manny Machado, right? Who stands?
No one's ever in the circle.
Manny stands behind home plate, essentially, getting the view, the angle. And then I realized he was a clock blocker.
If you're a right-handed pitcher, the clock that you can see is the one that's on the visiting third base side dugout. If you're a left-hander, there's one for them near the Padres dugout. But if the guy's standing right in front of it, and you and I don't know if this is a Japanese pitcher thing, but it does seem fairly common. They like to squeeze it right down to Yuki Matsui goes to 0.01 before he twitches on the clock when it's ticking down to 0. And then he'll do his long windup that starts at 0.01 seconds, but just barely gets it in every time. And Yu tends to drag it down to the last second or two as well before he goes into his windup. So he likes to see that clock so he knows exactly when he has to begin and avoid the automatic ball call.
And it's games like that last night that the offense has to know. They have to know, okay, we're going against Zach Gallen, who had a good start last time, but he's been roughed up this year. We've got you, and we've got you for 65 pitches. That could be 2 innings. It could be 3, whatever it is. We have to, and also the offense has to know we've got the back end of not the good part of our bullpen tonight. Our B team, if you will, the Yuki Matsuis, the Wandy Peraltas, those are going to be the guys that are coming in tasked with keeping the game close. They didn't do that. The offense has to know that going in. They need to be aggressive. They need to figure out how to score runs early. I mean, you need to do that every game, no matter who's fresh in your bullpen or not. But last night, especially knowing very short start for Yu Darvish coming up, Wandy, Hoeing, Matsui are the guys that Schilt's going to be going to. Not Schilt's fault. He didn't get the job done. Yeah, man. Yuki Matsui is he's not very effective right now at all. And Wandy is Wandy. Wandy, when he walks off the mound, the hat is always tilted up. He looks like he just got done with a 18-hour shift in the coal mines. As he's walking off, he always looks so Oh my God! Like he's just beaten down. Holy
I know
cow.
exactly.
You know that look? The hat's like cocked off to the side. He's like,
it's like a lot of a.
Whoa,
man!
Yeah, dude, it's like he's walking out of the coal
got out of that
mines.
one.
I know, it's crazy. So you kind of knew, man. Like you knew that the offense once Yuki comes in, starts giving up runs, the offense didn't score, and you're like, all right. I mean, they made a couple of valiant efforts last night, but just unable to get the big hit with runners in scoring position.
They had
so many opportunities.
Now, if the Padres weren't even putting together opportunities to score, that would be one thing.
Correct. If they're just like grounding out and
that happened against Zach
out.
Wheeler, but that happens for all teams against Zach Wheeler. Most games they have lots of opportunities to score.
No question. 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position.
Converting.
Yeah. You know, the Trenton Brooks AB, I mean, I don't know. Basically, I don't know. I don't know what the plan is here, guys. I wish I did. I wish I could tell you. You know, this is why he's up. You know, he seems like a really nice guy, you know, but at this point, like somebody made the point last night on Twitter, how come Tirso gets like 5 ABs and Trenton Brooks starts every game? I said, I wish I knew, man. I wish I knew the answer.
Yeah, you know,
they need players, dude. They need players.
We've had the same conversation over the years recently, just sub player A for player B. But like, I look at a guy like Trenton Brooks, who's getting a decent amount of playing time right now, and I go, yeah, championship teams don't roll that out there.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you, Paulie. You know, it's not like
I know that
it's not like he's a Jack Caglione that he's going to be a big part of your future.
It's a product of where we're at right now, and I get it, but that should be a pretty alarming message to Preller and company that we got to make some moves.
Yeah, I mean, again,
got to change it up a little bit because
I'm fiending for some trades. I'm fiending for
it does feel like often, I mean, all season, but especially lately, the Padres put together a good stretch of offense, and then they end up, and the 8-9 hitters are coming up with guys with the bases loaded or guys in scoring position. And it's either Brooks and Maldonado or it's Iglesias and Diaz, but you have too many non-productive hitters at the bottom of your order. Mm-hmm. You have to find, you don't need a star, but you need to have some guys who are going to hit, 260, 250, going to drive in some runs, get a hit here or there. I know Martin Maldonado came through the other night, but I have no confidence when he steps to the plate. Don't have any confidence when Trenton Brooks steps into the plate right now. It's too easy of an escape hatch for opposing pitchers.
Yeah, when you have potentially 6 through 9, that's 4 batters out of 9. When you have a 6 through 9, that the pitcher is like feels like he can settle in and just pump heaters by guys, or they're not going to swing, they're not going to be aggressive. It makes a really difficult game much easier for you. It's kind of like facing the tier 1s. You got 3 guys you got to get through, and then you got about 8 guys that you can just kind of carve up. Myself being one of them. But our buddy Tommy tweeted yesterday: Padres 8 hole hitters all year. This is before last night. 66 weighted runs created plus, 192 average, slash line, 192, 270, 303, 9-hole hitter, 61 WRC plus, 196, 264, 289. Some of the worst combined production in the league. When they get upgrades, I will cry tears of joy.
That's a good point, because I heard Scraby last night as I was driving home mention, well, maybe the Padres don't need a left fielder. Gavin Sheets is playing serviceable defense out there.
They said that on the broadcast too.
Which is true, but it doesn't really matter. You still need to upgrade it's the 8 and the 9 holes in the lineup. And you can upgrade that by putting Gavin Sheets back to DH by acquiring a left fielder who can hit a little bit. Or you can acquire a catcher who can hit a little bit. You have to upgrade the 8 and 9 slots in your order. I don't care how you do it. If Gavin Sheets is playing left field and you
have to get a DH.
If you find a DH that can hit right-handed and hits lefties and can bat and upgrade the bottom of your order, I mean, great. If you find a guy who can hit 4th or 5th and move Jake down to 8th or Gavin down to 7th, great. That upgrade, you have to upgrade the bottom of your lineup, whether it's with new people coming in or the people you already have moving down because you found other people that can hit higher in your order. That's what AJ Preller needs to do this month before the trade deadline. The Padres will win nothing, especially in the playoffs. They will be dissected.
Playoffs?
If they get there,
playoffs.
Opposing teams will have a giant game plan. Exactly. Okay, pitch around him. We've got this escape hatch at the bottom of the order every single time.
Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs?
Elite.
One of the oldest and
best.
most used clips in sports radio history,
and it works. It works every single time.
Playoffs?
It's the
Playoffs?
Playoffs?
Ben, the playoffs?
Playoffs?
It's July.
You kidding me?
Are you kidding me?
Playoffs?
I hope we win a game.
Yeah. I just hope we win a game. Yeah, Fritz, good point here. Padres as a whole had one extra base hit. It's not just the bottom of the lineup. Yeah, man. I don't know what the problem is. It's driving me crazy.
They hit the ball.
They did. They
hit the ball hard.
They did.
That's it. How do you get extra base hits? You
hit the ball
hard. I don't know why. The Diamondbacks and the Padres both hit the same. I think the same. Padres had one more ball hit hard than the Diamondbacks.
We got
95.
one hit.
Padres got 6 singles. They got 5 extra base hits out of them. Launch angle. I mean, it's just hitting it down the line as opposed to up the middle. That is a really difficult conundrum because you, as a hitting coach in baseball,
or as a hitter,
you're just trying to hit the ball hard.
Barely.
You're not trying to pick exactly, unless you're a Luis Ariz.
Right. And
you're
he
not going out there and picking, and he doesn't hit the ball hard. You're just trying to hit the ball hard. Padres are very good at that. They're getting.
Yeah.
I mean, they're very good at it. They hit the ball hard, as you know, pretty much just like any other good offensive team. They don't get the kind of production out of it that the other teams get, and it's frustrating. It's frustrating.
I'm with you, Matty. Matty Ice says bring the fences in 30 feet. I'm in. Let's go. Let's turn this thing into the next Riverfront Stadium and just start it. Man. Yeah, Arturo says morning is a broken record on again. 100%. We can just replay. Pick one of several shows in the last 2 months, and you can play it. You know, so I'm with you. It's hard to come up with new ideas how to talk about a very flaccid, inept offense right now.
I do want to remind everybody, the Diamondbacks may be a mediocre team, but their offense is elite. And Darvish got 5 strikeouts, 12 swing and misses. That was an unbelievably good sign last night from Darvish.
Yeah, no doubt. And again, just crossing my fingers that he wakes up feeling fantastic today and ready to do it again in 4 days.
We got Jesse Agler going to continue this conversation. He'll join us a little early today for an Incorporator Tuesday at the bottom of the hour. First, though, we've got Don't Do This coming up next. You had a do this item, correct?
Yeah, I love this story about the home run derby.
A home run derby story.
Home run derby story.
I did see that they had another commitment yesterday. Byron Buxton going to be there.
Yeah, he's actually the subject of my
I'm
do
looking forward to that. We'll get to that coming up after a check of traffic with Ben Woods here on 97.3 The Fan. First, though, it is morning time. It is coffee time. Should be Better Buzz time. Check out Better Buzz and their Summer Flings menu right now with all kinds of great new menu items. So many different locations in San Diego. I've been to 3 or 4 of them now. I've got the app downloaded so I can order whatever I want. Try the coconut best drink ever. It's the classic. Their best drink ever, topped with coconut cold cream and toasted coconut flakes. I got the matcha the other day. They've got the coconut matcha now with mixed with coconut power and butterfly pea flour coconut milk. It's really cool, all the stuff that they've added, the Blue Crush acai bowl as well if you're hungry. So many different options at Better Buzz Coffee this summer. Perfect place to get your coffee fix this morning or anytime during the day. One taste of Better Buzz's coffee's new menu. You might just catch some feelings here from Better Buzz. Check them out online at betterbuzzcoffee.com.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Jamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
Don't do this on a Tuesday, brought to you by Trust and Will.
Don't.
Leave your entire estate, house, kids, and life savings up to chance if and when you die.
Do.
Set up a Trust or Will online at trustandwill.com.
This
is a lot more affordable than you think. Visit trustandwill.com for more info. Woods, get us started.
Well, it's the offseason, the NFL, and, always good for a few arrests here and there. Dallas Cowboys all-pro kick returner Kevontae Turpin was arrested on Saturday by the Allen, Texas Police Department, facing just 2 misdemeanors, Ben. He had a 9mm in plain view, the back of his vehicle, and some loose cannabis, Paulie, in the center console.
Loose cannabis
of his car, and they don't play that in Allen, Texas, Benjamin.
Big bomber class,
yeah.
Bossing on the head.
Yeah, he was driving 97 in a 70.
All right,
I'll get you for that.
All right, on its own, any one of those 3. All right, not the worst thing. You have some loose cannabis, fine. You're a football player.
Got me.
Ganja, a.k.a. cannabis.
Football
player owns a gun. Color me shocked.
Right.
Very in Texas, no
less.
Someone driving over 90 in a sports car.
Yeah.
Or a Dodge, whatever. Not going to shock me. Don't do all 3 of them at the same time.
Yeah, it's the trifecta.
That's where you're going to get into trouble. Have you ever been...
Everybody must get
Have you ever been
stoned?
driving your car knowing, okay, this would be a bad time to get pulled over?
Yes.
And so I'm going to extra obey the speed limits, the stop signs. I remember, I don't know, a year or so ago, we were having a party. I had just gone to Costco. I wasn't doing anything illegal, but I had like 2 24 packs of beer and 3 large handles of alcohol in my car. I didn't want to get pulled over right then. Even though I hadn't been drinking it, it wasn't open, I wasn't doing anything illegal, definitely didn't want to get pulled over.
Yeah.
You have a gun, you have some marijuana in your car, maybe don't drive 97 Cavante.
Yeah. 2 misdemeanors. He'll pay the fine, probably get, fined by the team. I probably won't miss any time, but definitely don't do this worthy.
My don't do this, more bad luck than bad action. I was actually watching this yesterday. This is Wimbledon. We're into the quarterfinals now, third Grand Slam tennis event of the season in London. And the number 1 player in the world, Jannik Sinner, was on the ropes. He was down 2 sets to love to Bulgaria's Grigor Dimitrov, the 34-year-old, on his way to the upset. I mean, he was playing so well. It was like, he's got him. He is dead. And they're in the third set. I think it's like 2-2. Dimitrov is serving, and he just yanks something in his chest. He just reaches up and he goes, ah, like he pulled a pec or something. Down on the ground. Trainer comes out. They go out for a second, come back. He waves and goes, I got to retire. Sinner advances to the quarterfinals despite not having won a single set in the match. He gets to go on. Oh, my
God.
And this Dimitrov's had some bad injury luck. This is the 5th straight Grand Slam in which he's had to exit with an injury in one of his matches.
Holy cow.
He's gotten to the 4th round, quarterfinals, and he keeps getting hurt every time going down. That's just, I don't know if it's bad luck or what's going on, but that's a painful don't do this moment when I was watching some tennis yesterday.
Is the don't do this for his pectoral muscle?
I felt bad.
It's terrible. Bad. Yeah, injuries, man. Like, think about all the great. Oh, this guy's one of them, actually. Byron Buxton. Like, he gets injured seemingly every year,
doesn't he?
For the Minnesota Twins. When he's on and when he's healthy, he is an extremely dynamic player, and he's healthy right now. Made the All-Star team. He's going to play or participate in the Home Run Derby. And this for do this. Did we hit it already?
DD mega doo-doo.
I loved what he had to say. This is pretty funny, though. He has a son. His son's name is Brixton.
Byron Buxton's son is named
Brixton Buxton.
Brixton Buxton.
Brixton Buxton.
Brix Buxton. Yeah. So
tongue twister.
I love this quote. He said, Brix is probably the most excited. He plays MLB The Show, and he plays the Derby all the time. And he's always like, Dad, if you do this, I want to bring you a towel. And I'm like, all right, that's all he cares about. He wants Dad to do it so he can bring me the towel and the Gatorade. And for me, that's special. Out of everybody that's there, all the people he's going to see, that's what he wants and cares about. So I love this, man. I'm going to write this down. I love this quote. So it's the small things that add up to the big ones. And I went, man, that's good parental advice. It's those small bricks. Buxton is most excited about the bit of bringing Dad. Dad cranks 6 or 7 homers, takes his time out. Brixton Buxton super fired up to run over, give his dad a blue Gatorade and the towel so he can wipe himself off, have a little sip of Gatorade, and get back to business. But I thought that was a really sweet moment, and what a cool moment for any kids of All Stars, man. Just the best.
And that is don't and do this for a Tuesday.
That was Don't Do This with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
In anticipation of an early visit from the incorporator, Jesse Agler, let's do our Padres Diamondbacks ticket giveaway right now because we got a chance to do so. 7th caller at 833-288-0973. Going to win 2 tickets again to Padres DBacks game. This is for tomorrow. It's the free Padres City Connect straw hat game, first 40,000 fans. There are still tickets available. Hey, keep the sellout streak going, Padres fans. You are supporting the team like crazy. Go to Padres.com/tickets. Be there tomorrow or win the tickets right now at 833-288-0973. Padres, you are supporting your team like crazy right now. Let's keep it going. 833-288-0973. Jesse Agler going to join us coming up next year on 97.3 The Fan.
Quickly, gang, let me tell you once again about QC Kinetics. If you woke up this morning, your knee, your hip, your shoulder, your back, whatever it is, not getting any better, you're stuck in that cycle of maybe you're doing steroid shots or you're doing cortisone, things like that, and now potentially talking surgery. Before you go down that road, hit pause for a second. Let me tell you about QC Kinetics. It helps people get their lives back without more meds and without going under the knife. They are the leaders in regenerative medicine. They use treatments like advanced cellular therapy and platelet
platelet-rich plasma, all designed to help your body heal itself. I've done it in my wrists, both wrists, and I will be waving this flag forever. Such a big fan of QC Kinetics and what they were able to do for me. 92% of patients report satisfaction with their results. That's not just a number, that's peace of mind that you're exploring something that's truly working for people just like you, getting you back on your bike, getting you back in the ocean, getting you back on that mountain, whatever it is. A licensed medical provider will go over your x-rays or MRI to see if you're a good fit for their breakthrough treatments. Just call them today. Locations in Hillcrest and Torrey Hills. They can be reached at 619-614-PAIN, 619-614-PAIN. Doesn't cost anything for a second opinion. Learn more about something that could be life-changing for you. Get back to doing what you love this summer. It's QC Kinetics at 619-614-PAIN.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Jamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the Players' Place.
All right, we're getting an early Jesse Agler fix on an Incorporator Tuesday. The voice of the Padres standing by. He will join us right after a quick check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Speed's getting back to normal. North 805 toward that earlier crash past Governor. Looks like they got that stalled car out of the way on northbound 5B for Claremont Drive. Southbound 163 Friars Road off-ramp reports of a stalled vehicle. Tow truck may be needed there. And westbound side of the 8 before the 163, got this crash blocking the slow lane. Couple vehicles involved. We still have this accident westbound 54 before the 5. And why should greater part of San Diego have all the fun? North County's got a couple of problems now. One of them is a crash on La Costa Avenue on-ramp to northbound 5 and eastbound side of 78 just before Mar Vista. There is a collision blocking middle lanes. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Wood, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
By the way, congratulations to Tier 1 Paul, who won the tickets for the Padres Diamondbacks game tomorrow.
That sounds fixed.
No, I don't think it's this Paul.
Oh, it's not Paul.
Different
Reindl.
Paul.
Okay.
Could
Joining
be me.
Could be.
Have you seen those straw hats?
Yeah, they're pretty sick.
They are nice.
Yeah.
Joining us right now, though, is the voice of the San Diego Padres. Got to call a big moment last night, and I wanted to start there. Jesse, of all the milestones you've had to call or gotten to call in your career, I assume this one pretty special, Manny's 2000th hit. What other ones kind of stand out as well?
Oh, man. Fun question. Good morning, guys.
Good morning, buddy.
You know, I was on TV for the first cycle, the Matt Kemp cycle in Denver, which was just kind of fun because, you know, as silly as a cycle is, it had become this, you know, thing that was never going to happen.
Yep.
And then it did. Obviously, the Musgrove no-hitter was incredibly special. The only thing about that one is it was a remote broadcast. So it had, you know, from like the Tony Jesse perspective, not an asterisk, but it wasn't like being there, which was, you know, kind of disappointing in a moment. And then you got to do the Cease no-hitter in person last summer in Washington, which was incredible. And then, you know, even Manny's 1500th hit at Wrigley, I think I was on TV a couple of years ago. You remember these things because they're just special. And if you're the kind of baseball nerd that I am, you know, you recognize what all of this is, how important it is to sort of the story of the San Diego Padre franchise, and to get to be a little bit of a part of it, obviously, is very, very special and stuff, you know, I'll remember for the rest of my life. I mean, we are so lucky to be able to watch this guy right now every single night. And, you know, to see him put his Hall of Fame resume together piece by piece. And last night was a pretty big piece.
No question. And my wife was at the game. I was home with the kids. And as the world's biggest Manny fan, I was a little jealous. I texted her as much, but, you know, we were talking about it earlier in the show about how, man, you know, he's through May and he's got like 4 home runs. And, you know, everyone's saying, don't worry, he'll be where he needs to be. And of course, he's at that halfway mark of where he always is, Jesse. You know, a week before the All-Star break, he's sitting at 15. And like, you know, there's still so much more good baseball from him. And, you know, to watch him again, be out there every single day. It's tough to put a price on that. And for him to be as consistent as he's been on a team where, it would be very natural of Manny to try to press, right? Like this would be the year of all year to go up there and try to yak one out every single time. And I do remark, it's remarkable able to kind of stay within himself, get his hits to the opposite field, hit his occasional home run, and do what he does at third.
Something to be said, right, for being 33 years old and for having made your major league debut at 19 and for kind of being around the block and been there, done that, and having a really good understanding of, kind of the reality of this game. And, it's a great example of, these guys who are 24, 25 years old or certainly younger are not finished products. And, there's big obvious things that will change over the years, but the one you're talking about is more of a subtle thing, right? It's not, something that would be super obvious to somebody who kind of, tunes in a couple of times a week or watches the highlights on YouTube. But to those of us who are paying really close attention, you're absolutely right. This is, something that maybe at 28 years old, he is doing.
Yeah.
And, then he's not putting these numbers together, but he's so within himself. He's so understanding of the situation. He's such a mature hitter and baseball player overall, obviously. That he's able to go out and do that. He's a marvel, man. We're so lucky, and the incredible thing is, it's not just him right now. And I know some guys are slumping, but generally speaking, you've got a handful of guys on this roster in this lineup every single night that have the opportunity to do some really special things in this game, and we get to see all of them.
Jesse, what's your personal kind of baseball philosophy on a team with hitting with runners in scoring position? Because it fluctuates so much. It seems like it's so unpredictable from time to time, yet you can't really win games without doing it well. And we saw another game last night. So many of the Padres' losses, they have had plenty of chances to score, and they simply just don't come through. But I don't think this is inherently like a non-clutch team. But, how do you kind of evaluate that?
Yeah, so my thoughts on this are broad, not specific to this team or anything like that, but they're just more, as you said, philosophy of baseball. First of all, you can win not doing it. Sometimes you got to get a little lucky, but the easier quote unquote way to do it is with slug. If you're going to be like some big home run monster lineup, you can get away with that, right? Because you hit a 2-run homer, a 3-run homer, and you are good to go. And it is what it is, right? But yes, certainly it is helpful to be able to go out there. And hold on, the 9-year-old appears to have been pooped on by a bird in the backyard.
Oh,
okay?
No. That's a crisis.
On the leg. It's okay. You're gonna be good to go. We'll wash it off in a minute, okay? Not fun. It's good luck.
Nearly. So I don't know if you were listening. Last week I went and did an interview with Tom Seidler on the kind of that middle concourse there at Petco Park, and as we were chatting, probably 3 feet away, the biggest bird dropping came down right between us. I mean, came within inches of both of us. We both looked at each other and goes, "This interview's done.
This interview's over.
We're now leaving." It was like a bald eagle decided to leave its mark right between us.
Jesse, 4th of July fireworks, yeah.
Jesse, if it was my 7-year-old, you would have had to call Life Flight for him. He would have gone full panic.
We're really close to that. I'm very impressed by him that he's not freaking out. Now the 4-year-old's coming out to inspect the situation. The whole, hey, leave dad alone for 10 minutes in the backyard thing is not working.
Yeah, there it comes from Mo. He just got pooped on by a pigeon. It's over.
Yes, the bird did poop on Jonah. It's okay, though. He'll be fine. We'll clean it up in a minute.
This is incredible. This is my favorite radio.
He's cleaning it right now. Radio. Even better. Even better.
This is the best.
So as for runners in scoring position, look, it's a weird thing, right? Because, 2 years ago, we talked about it endlessly, how much of a struggle it was for the Padres. Last year, we talked about it endlessly, how great they were in those situations. Obviously, it's not the exact same roster all 3 years. But, these are things that do fluctuate year to year, pretty greatly. There's a lot that's been written over the years about those numbers and what they mean and what they don't mean. And it's a little bit of a tough nut to crack. But I think, last year doesn't matter this year, and that's the important thing to keep in mind, good or bad. And, so far this year, it's certainly been a struggle. There's time to change that. But time is running out. I'll watch it in a bit. Don't you worry about it. I will watch it in a couple of minutes.
If you got to go, you got to go. I guess.
Jesse, you asked for this time, brother.
Yeah, remember, you changed the time. So.
You chose this.
The good news is everyone in the chat seems to think this is a good omen for the San Diego Padres.
Jesse's kid gets pooped on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jonah Agler gets pooped on, and now we're going to have a 10-game winning streak.
Oh, I would love a 10-game winning streak so much.
It's actually, why don't we just give him the word now? Because it's inspired, I think, a new incorporator word.
Yes.
I'm throwing out
Droppings.
the old one.
Dropping. No.
The word
Guano.
Guano is it is the scientific name for the excrement of seabirds and bats.
Yep. Guano.
Love it.
It's very topical. It's very top of mind. It will be top of mind for you and your child for the rest of the day. Do you need to go wash that bird poop?
He's good for a minute.
Okay?
Just,
All right,
there you go.
yeah. They're following me around like baby ducklings now as I pace in the backyard.
Man, it was good seeing you in Philly, getting to catch up.
How was your trip?
Dude,
how was the trip?
So good.
It was epic.
Amazing.
It was so epic.
We really
loved
rain out, but we made it work.
We love that town. We really did. The food was spectacular. We did get the visiting clubhouse cheesesteak, which we weren't supposed to have, but we did anyway. And it was outstanding. I mean, you couldn't put. Have you ever put down a full cheesesteak in Philly?
Not like before a game. I've done it
Right.
after a game once, but after a game one time just to say I did it. It's delicious. It's incredible, but I can't eat like that before a game. I'll be asleep in the fifth inning.
No doubt.
And so it's for my job, I try and eat light-ish before the game just because, but they're incredible. I mean, it's one of those things where like people are like, oh, you get hyped up and everybody talks about it, but it lives up to all the hype.
We were on vacation, so we were exploring, doing all the touristy stuff. You were working. Do you that was such a fun city, historical city, so much to see, so much to do. When you're on the road, do you ever let yourself go explore and be a tourist ever in the mornings, or are you pretty much it's work, I'm going to rest, I'm going to relax and get to the office?
So road off days are the days to do that. And so, it's kind of, they're random. They're here and there. They're not everywhere. So we've had, many off days over the years in Philly. So I've done that stuff. I've also been there on my own in a non-baseball situation. So it is a great city, but, it's on a work day. Yeah, it's a work day. You try and get the workout in the morning.
Yep.
You got work to do. And then, it's kind of like eat lunch and go to the ballpark. So that's the thing about this. People, every time I go to a city and somebody's like, oh, you got to go to X, Y, and Z restaurant. And it's like, we have a night game, a day game, and then we're leaving town. Like there is no going out to dinner.
No.
That's why those road off days are so valuable and so special, because it's really the only opportunity all year to just have a full day off, and to kind of reset the brain a little bit and to go out and do some stuff that lets you get away from the game mentally for a few minutes. So, every once in a while, like if we're in an elite city and, I've gotten the workout in super early and I'm not too tired, maybe I'll go do something, before going to a game. But generally that stuff is reserved for the off days, because the rest of the time, man, it's just go, go, go. It really is.
I know you're usually traveling on the team bus, but occasionally you must have to hop in a cab or a ride share, an Uber or a Lyft. When they ask you what you do, are you honest?
No, you got to lie.
Or do you lie?
You got to lie.
You know what? I don't know in 12 seasons now, or 11 and a half seasons, if I've ever taken a cab or an Uber to a game.
Really?
Wow.
I mean, just in the city though, like, hey, what are you here for? Oh, I'm the voice of the Padres.
I know Ben would admit it. I know Ben would.
No. I've never dropped that line.
No,
but
never.
No, because like, first of all, it goes back to the introverted thing. Like, I'm really not trying to extend small talk with anybody. So if I say something interesting, that's going to kick off this small talk. I'm here for work. It's kind of the line, like when somebody asks. But one of my sort of like, not hard and fast rules, but one of my little Jesse rules for the road is I try generally not to have to like Uber anywhere. So like I'll, whether it's working out or going out to eat or like going to a museum, if it's not walking distance, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Or running distance. That's kind of my way of just kind of like keeping it all close by and simple and easy. An off day may be something different. We were in Boston last year. We had an off day. I took an Uber to the JFK Presidential Library because I'd never been there, and it was 25, 30 minutes away. But that was like one to go out of the way for, just to be a dork and be curious about it. But yeah, there's not a lot of small talk in my life.
Yeah, you're not a big small talk guy. I always feel bad even coming to say hello. I'm like, let this man work. Let him live. Let Jesse Agler live. Ben's not a small talk guy either.
True.
He's not. He will drop that he's, on the radio and television. He'll drop that. I heard him drop it a few times on this trip. We don't have to get into specifics, but it was definitely.
Who was he talking to?
It was definitely dropped a couple of times.
Is this like late at night somewhere?
Yeah, late at night somewhere. Yeah, 100%. It happens.
I look forward to hearing about.
They were genuinely curious. He's red. He is red as a beet right now, by the way.
Hook, line, and sinker.
This is all your fault, Woods. Anyway,
It is. I get it. Well, thank you. Good luck with your doo-doo cleaning, and we'll anxiously wait to hear how you work guano into tonight's broadcast.
10-game winning streak incoming.
Let's go. I can't wait. Thank you, buddy.
Jesse Agler, the voice of the San Diego Padres, even if he won't admit it.
I'm dead.
When he is on the road and occasionally in an Uber somewhere.
Yes.
I was hanging up with Jesse. Hey, thanks again, man. Appreciate it. See you around. And I just heard just chaos
in the background. I mean,
is this a hose situation or is it a wet paper towel situation?
Well,
what are we doing? Are we going full bath?
Depending on this,
I didn't see. We don't know what the damage.
I don't know what the damage is, but I do feel like the moist paper towel on the leg could get the job done. But
I think that gets you to the shower.
It could.
It's a shower.
The
maybe.
dad enjoyment of hosing down your
is
children,
so fun. It
making
is
them
elite.
Scream and squeal.
Yes.
It's kind of fun.
It really is.
There is I don't know, for the people who don't have children, you love your children.
Yeah.
And you want to protect them and nurture them, and you want them always to feel safe. But occasionally you like to torture them just a little bit.
There's no question. No question. But hey, you made this mess, so come on over here. This is a good one. The Guzzinator says they're hitting like guano with runners in scoring position. That's good.
It's one of my favorite interviews we've ever done.
That was really, really epic. That was really epic. And he's like, all right, give Dad 10 minutes outside. Dad, I just got crapped on. Yeah, crapped on in the backyard.
Jesse's kids don't use that word.
No, they say poop. My kids don't use that word either.
Can't say that word.
Can't say that word on the radio. Always appreciate Jesse's time. I would love we had the Rally Roach last year. I would love the guano 10-game winning streak right now. We just walk around covered in it. It's fine by me, whatever it takes to get this team rolling. But yeah, All-Star break, Ben, looming. Few players on this team really are going to look forward to the break.
Hold on, but you can't think that. This is a home stretch where you want to make some hay. And now the Padres are just 2-2. They got 6 games left. This is when you're supposed to put together a winning record, because then you go on the road again.
Yep.
You get some tough games. You can't look and go, hey, let's just get ourselves to the All-Star break. You got to win some of these games.
No doubt.
You got to have a solid week here now if you're the San Diego Padres. Didn't get off to a good start last night. We'll talk more about it. And guess what we're going to do here in hour number 3? You're going to be shocked. Phone calls.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
Right. I know. Padres fans, we want to hear from you. Really? Coming up next with Ben and Woods here on 97.3 The Fan.
All right, we are halfway home on a Tuesday. Ben and Woods, 97.3 The Fan. Great to be here with you. I'm Woodsy. That's Paul Reindl, the executive producer. Ben Higgins is your friendly neighborhood sports anchor. Joins us as well. And, fun first half of the show. Talked to Jesse Agler, his son. What's his name, Jonah?
Jonah.
Got pooped on in the backyard. And, something that every parent has to deal with. It's some poop. It's your whole life is just run by it. It's just poop and pee and blood and just everything. It's just everything. It's overwhelming. Fluids everywhere. Just vomit. It's just constant. It never ends. It ends when they move out, but I'm not looking forward to that day. I'm not looking forward to being an empty nester at all. Not even a little, as much as I complain. I would miss them terribly.
You had your chance last couple of days.
I hated it.
Friday and Saturday.
I hated it, dude. I hated it so much. When we got home from Philly, they were still in Colorado, and I just was like, this sucks. I sat on my ass. Like, I went to the gym, and there was like one day I don't think I saw anybody. I was like, this is horrible. I need the chaos in my life, and I'm bred for chaos. And as much as it is difficult and challenging, being home alone without them was the worst experience.
It's what you think you want.
It's what you think you want.
More than anything. And you can't get away from the chaos. If I could just have a day or two of peace, it would be amazing. And then you find yourself looking around going,
this sucks.
What do I do?
Yeah. What am I supposed to do? Like, I got home, I did all the chores and stuff. I did like all the laundry, so Hannah wouldn't have to come.
Which is so easy when there's no one. There's nothing to distract you from it. You just get it done. You can go at your own pace. It's very easy to do those things.
Yeah. Nobody in the chat says time for number 3, Woods. All right, fine. I'm at this point, I'm sure my missus could be convinced, but she'd have to get some tubes untied and things like that. But I would do it at 50 here in, what's the date today? I'll be 50 in 11 days. 50. I saw George Clooney has kids my age. I saw a little interview with him the other day, and he said, yeah, it's challenging, very challenging. He said him and his wife never fight. He goes, we're looking for something to fight about. And she said, not even the kids? And he goes, no, still looking for something to have an argument about. I'm like,
George,
are you joking? Well, he must have like, do you think he has like 9 nannies to where he's like, all right, good night, kids, we'll see you later, I'm gonna go make love to your mother again? Like, I have no idea, but is that feasible? Like, is that even a good relationship if you have no arguments?
Even if you did, I think there'd be arguments about the nannies.
Right.
It's so impossible.
It's Ben,
not to have disagreements.
It's eyewash.
How does George do this?
It's eyewash, dude. It's got to be, right? Is he trying to make himself? It's George Clooney. Does he really need to make himself look better for Diane Sawyer or whatever, right? Like, you're George Clooney. He's done something recently, though. You notice the dye job on his hair? It's jet black.
I haven't seen George Clooney.
It was gray for a while.
He was Silver Fox. He looked cool as hell.
He's gone back to.
It's
maybe it's natural.
It's not.
His hair is ungraded itself because he's George Clooney.
It's black as night. And it's just, it looks uncomfortable.
Could it be for a role?
Maybe. It could be for a role.
It could be for a role.
What role?
Well, you don't know. I mean, usually when you see him, that movie's not coming out for like 2 years.
That's true. Tyler said the dye job was for a role. All right. Well, listen, he looked super weird. But yeah, I thought, is that even a healthy relationship if you have no disagreements? None. Is that healthy? I think the answer is no. Like, he goes, we look for stuff to argue about. We just can't find anything. I'm like, wow. I mean, he's got $7 billion in the bank. That helps, right? But even then, wouldn't there be disagreements about that?
You would think, right?
Right. Which yacht do you want to take? Are you taking
Cadillac problems? Was still something to argue
about. Cadillac problems.
Argue about the Cadillac.
Cadillac problems are still problems.
Right,
There's still issues that you have. I don't get it.
Rod says, don't do it. From a father of 5, please don't. No more babies. David J has a good point. Says, Woods, you don't want to be the 68-year-old at your kid's high school graduation.
I'm already going to be 61, assuming Bo graduates. I'll be 61. That's fairly old.
At Taylor's, you'll be 63.
64?
64.
God bless. 64-year-old. I'm going to need a cane, aren't I? But I feel like 64 is the new 50.
That's true.
Because I see pictures of guys, like they show, like Wilford Brimley when he was in Cocoon, he was 33 years old.
You're not far off.
He looks 70. Somebody look up how old he was in Cocoon, because I swear to God, he was
I've
like
seen
40.
This before.
It's true. It's true.
He was 49.
He was our age now.
He was
our age now. Wilford Brimley in Cocoon is our age. He looked 75 years old. By the way, George Clooney is playing Edward R. Murrow on stage in New York, hence the dyed dark hair. Good. I was worried, like, if any man could avoid a midlife crisis, it would be George Clooney. Like, you don't have to dye your hair. You look cool as hell when your hair's
just salt and pepper.
He's the master of the salt and pepper. So he did it for a role.
I can't believe that I am the age that Wilford Brimley was in Cocoon. They were at a senior home.
I got an AARP.
That alien thing landed in the pool. I've seen it once a long time ago.
I got an AARP thing in the mail the other day, and I was livid. I think somebody might have sent it to me as a bit, but maybe not. I was livid. I threw it right in the garbage. Holy cow. He was 49 years old. Incredible. So, I don't know. I mean, yeah, but anyway, like, being home without the kids was tough. Now you have one that's moving. He's gone. He's leaving.
He is.
For,
Is it forever? I don't know.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, probably,
it's hard.
At some point, did they move out of the house? Yeah, there's Wilford Brimley at 49.
I got to see this. That's staggering. I mean, it's staggering. The other guy next to him in the middle.
That's Hume Cronin.
Hume Cronin was actually 53 there, and then the other guy next to him was 54. I mean, he's 49 in that picture. There's no way.
Did they add some liver spots?
They must have.
They
must have olded him up.
Did they
It's a movie.
Dye his beard in gray? Is that the opposite?
That's so good. But they show they showed these pictures the other day too of like the Penn State football team in 1982. These guys look for 45 years old. I mean, all of it. They had like mustache. They looked old. People look older. People look better now.
Oh God, it was a pitcher. I can't remember his name from the 90s. I think he was on the Tigers.
Yeah.
And had the 90s. I mean, the mullet.
Yep.
The mustache looked like he just crushed at least 36 beers a day.
Yep.
Bowling alley after the games, and he was like 24 in the picture.
It's insane.
As an athlete. You're just like, what happened?
We look better. We look better now than they used to back in the day. We smoke less. I think we drink less. We take better care of ourselves. We eat better. Back
but
then.
Even the people who do smoke and drink look better too. So there's something else to it.
Yeah, Keith Richards still looks all right for being, doing what he's done and being 80
Do we have
something
better
years old.
skincare products? I mean, have we used sunscreen more?
We do. We use sunscreen.
Is
I think
that part
sunscreen's
of
a
it?
big
Yeah.
help. I think it's a huge, huge help. Not looking like an
Drink
old.
more water, better hydrated.
Yep. Don't look like old saddlebags anymore.
Rod Beck, that's who it was, the picture. Yeah. Thank
Shooter.
you, Mike.
100% shooter.
Yep.
Yeah, guy looked 60 years old when he pitched. Truly.
He looked like Wilford Brimley.
Yeah, he looked like Wilford Brimley.
25 years old and in the best shape of his life and out there on a major league field.
Slinging
and you're
heat,
just like,
throwing 93.
What?
I know. I don't get it, man. I really don't. I don't understand it at all. I really don't.
Baseball players, more than any other athlete, I think, can get away with like the illusion. Like you see, like pitchers, especially if you saw them in street clothes walking down the street, you would not. A lot of times, you wouldn't think elite athlete,
right?
$20 million a year superstar athlete. They just look like dudes.
Well, I mean, look,
and they have these super arms.
Nothing against Clayton Kershaw, the guys that are Hall of Fame first ballot. When that dude had post those pictures of him with his shirt off, I'm like, he looks just like me. Like he looks just like me. He's like a gut, kind of floppy, boobs, and he's sitting there holding his World Series trophy, and I'm going, how? Like you've struck out like 3,000 people. Like
Justin Verlander looks like a guy.
Look dumpy.
Put him in a polo and some slacks. He looks like
he's
a
just
guy.
a dude walking down the street. Clayton Kershaw looks like just a regular guy. You just kind of dad bod as it gets. I saw a picture of him recently of him with his shirt off after they won something. I'm like, he's just like us, except he throws, insane curveballs and 95 miles an hour. And I mean, truly, truly incredible. Yeah, Manny with the shirt off. Yeah, Manny's got skinny legs. Like but they're such incredible athletes, man.
Well, you don't see baseball players like basketball players. Obviously,
you see the arms,
you see all the arms, you see everything.
Football players, the wide receivers that wear those tight they see their biceps.
Track and field swimming, that they're wearing basically nothing and they're like perfect body.
And you see DK Metcalf walking down the street, you're like, you're an athlete. You are a monster.
When you watch, and when a pitcher or a baseball player is yoked, like the Lorenzen for the Reds, who's got 40-inch biceps, you're like, that looks weird. Like you look like you're out of place. When they're so big and strong, it looks weird.
I was on the field last year. It had to have been early in the season when we still had Enyel De Los Santos.
Yeah.
One of the largest human beings I've ever seen in a baseball uniform. The arms looked like legs.
Yeah.
He was a beast.
He's a tank. He's an absolute tank.
Obviously, Tatis could be an athlete.
He's
in
lean
any
now,
sport. He's
though.
live, but
Yeah,
he's
live.
But Sean Reynolds looks like a
beast.
Major athlete.
I don't think though that Sean Reynolds is like cut. He's just big.
Just
He's
big.
got big old horses, dude, that throw, 98 country strong, dude, the 98 miles an hour. Bo Jackson, that was one of those guys that you look at and go, yep, you're a horse. Yasiel Puig. I was down on the field one time and actually took a picture with him and had my hand on his back, and it was like rubbing your hand down the back of a bull. I had my hand here. I go
statue.
I go, oh my God! His back felt like a bull's back, just all sinew. You
touched Puig.
I did. I was forced into taking this picture. I did not want to take it, but hey, jump in for this picture. I was, oh, okay. And I had my hand on his back, and it was a Tyler O'Neill. Yeah, another huge one. The muscular baseball players actually look a little weird. Yeah. Looks strange.
All right. I did say we're going to take phone calls, and we will at the bottom of the hour, but can't take them now because we have Take on Woods coming up in our next segment. We need a contestant to try to be our first qualifier for our grand prize this month. It is a 2-night stay at the Park MGM and tickets to Motley Crue on September 19th and a $100 gas card. Woods won yesterday, so you can be the first in this month by taking on Woods coming up next. Call now, 833-288-0973. Just take on Woods contestants. Our musical trivia challenge coming up next, 833-288-0973. And then we'll take some Padres phone calls after that with Ben and Woods on a Tuesday on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. First, though, I want to tell you about SDFatLoss.com. Specifically, I want to make sure everybody knows that this is not only a doable program during the summer. Sometimes summer scares people off from weight loss programs. It shouldn't. I think it was easier. I did it during the summer a couple of years ago. I lost 40 pounds in 60 days. I think the weather actually helps you, and you can get through your vacations, you get through travel, airports, barbecues. Your counselors are going to set you up for success with the great proprietary strategies at SDFatLoss.com. It's about what to eat and when to eat. It is not necessarily about starving yourself. Sure, you're going to eat less, but I was able to get through my days, and I really adjusted pretty quickly. And once you see the weight coming off on that scale, up to a pound of fat every day and 10 to 20% of your body weight in 60 days, it is all worth it. I have kept that weight off as well, and that's what makes SDFatLoss.com different than other programs. You don't have to take injections that you're stuck to forever. You don't have to buy bars and shakes. You're eating real food, so you don't have to go off that and risk putting all the weight back on. Give them a try. Call or actually just go online for a free consultation this summer at SDFatLoss.com. They'll tell you how it works. You can get started here in the next couple of weeks. It'll still be warm by the time you've lost the weight. You can still enjoy, September and October when the weather is still good here, but you have to start today. Go to SDFatLoss.com. That's SDFatLoss.com. Results may vary.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Jamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
Yesterday was an unusual day in Major League Baseball. Now, there wasn't a full slate of games, just 10 games in Major League Baseball yesterday, including the Padres. But what made yesterday strange is it was one of the very few days this season that there was no shutouts. There's been an epidemic of shutouts this season in Major League Baseball. We were talking about it earlier in the week. They were like on a streak of 27 straight days where there was at least one shutout, and there was not one yesterday. Now, 4 teams were held to 1 run. The Rays lost 5-1 to the Tigers. The Marlins lost 5-1 to the Marlins beat the Reds 5-1. Giants beat the Phillies 3-1, and the Brewers battered the Dodgers 9-1. So it wasn't exactly offense all over the place, but there is almost always a shutout every day now in Major League Baseball.
It's crazy.
Didn't used to be that way.
I mean, pitchers are really good.
Pitchers are really good.
Bullpens are really nasty. They really are. And hitters are, the pitchers have adjusted quicker. The technology favors them, all of it. I mean, those guys now are able to see what they're, how they're tunneling it and spin and all this, and they are scientists up there. So hitters got to adjust, and it is, as we know very well, being San Diego Padres fans, not easy to do.
The Giants win did move them in front of the Padres in the wild card standing.
They were dead and buried last week, and I think they won 5 of 6. It just goes to show you just need to.
The Padres will go on a good run again at some point. It's just a matter of
when,
how soon, and how long will it last.
Yep.
I mean, nothing's been decided, and by a long stretch.
But it does show you a lot can change
in a week. I mean, there are teams that were running away with their division. New York Yankees were running away with their division. And look
now
at
the Blue Jays
this time of year,
4 games up.
Teams that are buyers now will become sellers. Vice versa.
And the next week, 2 weeks, right? It's crazy.
Red Sox were out of it. They've now won 7 of 9, and they're right back in the thick of things in the wild card race. Lots can happen. The Padres are in this win one, lose one sort of, which is not the worst thing. It's better than losing 7 out of 9.
No doubt.
but you really are itching for just a nice stretch. You just want to see the Padres win 8 out of 10, go on a 5-game winning streak, something where you can build a little momentum. And it's been a long time since we've seen the Padres really be able to build some momentum. It really was only the first month of the season where we saw them kind of consistently make gains. Since then, it's just been slowly like an air coming out of the balloon. There's never been a huge bad stretch.
What's their longest stretch? 5?
I think 5 all season.
A couple times, maybe?
Maybe just once.
Maybe just once.
Yeah, but it's just the constant win 1, lose 2, win 2, lose 1, win 1, lose 1. They've been stuck in this rut for a while, and you want to see them break out of it and have a nice stretch. We'll talk more Padres baseball, even take some phone calls.
It's almost like they haven't played their best baseball yet.
Ooh. They might have in
they might have in April
7 days of the season.
Let's hope not.
They were almost unbeatable. They won 10 straight at home to start the year. Remember that? Since then, been pretty mediocre. All right, we got a contestant on the line. Let's get today's game of Take on Woods. Take on Woods is brought to you by Bay Alarms, security and fire alarms for every business. We got you, and we got Jason today as our contestant. Good morning, Jason. How are you?
Morning, fellas.
All right, I got some good news for you. As today's contestant, you have already won a $50 Better Buzz gift card. Again, Better Buzz coming in hot with their Summer Flings menu right now. Love it first sip for a limited time only at Better Buzz Coffee. Enjoy that. Now, let's see if we can qualify you for our new grand prize. If you beat or tie Woods, you will qualify for the 2-night stay at the Park MGM Las Vegas, 2 tickets to Motley Crue on September 19th, and a $100 gas card. Catch Motley Crue's Las Vegas residency at Dolby Live at Park MGM September 12th through October 3rd. Tickets at Ticketmaster.com. To do so, we will let you pick the category for our 5-question musical trivia challenge. We still have sitting there All White Now. That's 5 song titles that include the word white. We also have White Sale, 5 bands and artists that include the word white. And our new category, Pops Music. Those are 5 song titles that all include the word Papa. All right, so All White Now, White Sale, or Pops Music. Jason, what would you like to play?
Let's go with White Sale.
White Sale. All right, this is the bands and artists version with the word white. 5 bands and artists, all with the word white somewhere in their name. You'll have 60 seconds to answer as many of the 5 as you can. If you don't know one, say pass. We'll come back to it if there's time left on the clock. First question is the 2-second song. Paulie will play you a short snippet of music. You need to give me the song title and the artist that has white in it to get that one correct. Jason, you ready to play?
Let's do it.
All right, 60 seconds on the clock. The category is White Sale. Your time begins when Paul plays our music. Good luck, Jason. Let's take on Woods.
Pass.
Which husband and wife duo topped the Billboard charts with their 2003 release, 7 Nation Army?
White Stripes.
Correct. Which Illinois band of high school friends is best known for their 2007 platinum release, Hey There, Delilah?
Pass.
Which 2-time Grammy winner used his booming bass voice to accompany the 1970s Love Unlimited Orchestra?
Barry White.
Correct. Which Scottish 70s group is best known for its instrumental track, Pick Up the Pieces?
Pass.
Go back to our 2-second song.
Don't know that one.
All right, which Illinois band of high school friends is best known for their 2007 platinum release, Hey There, Delilah? Time is up, Jason. You got 2. You got the White Stripes and Barry White. KG says Woods is going to slaughter this category.
He's getting at least 4.
If not 5.
Sorry,
the ones you
Jason,
didn't get, Here I Go Again by White Snake. The Plain White Tees are the authors of Hey There, Delilah.
Hey There, Delilah.
Average White Band is Pick Up the Pieces. That's the toughest one here. All right, Jason, your score is locked in. Woods comes in without the category. 60 seconds back on the clock. Same 5 questions. Woods, your time begins when Paul plays the music. Good luck. Let's take on Jason.
Ooh, Here I Go Again by Whitesnake.
Correct. Which husband and wife duo topped the Billboard charts with their 2003 release, Seven Nation Army?
Oh, the White Stripes.
Correct. Which Illinois band of
Stripes.
high school friends is best known for their 2007 platinum release, Hey There, Delilah?
Oh, Plain White Tees.
Correct. Which two-time Grammy winner used his booming bass voice to accompany the 1970s Love Unlimited
Barry
Orchestra?
White.
Correct. Which Scottish 70s group is best known for its instrumental track, Pick Up the Pieces? Last one. Got a little time.
White Taints?
No. It's the Average White Band.
Average White
But
Band.
it's 4-2 win for Woods today, so he remains perfect in the month of July.
Big.
The category was White Sale, White Snake, White Stripes, Plain White Tees, Barry White, and the Average White Band.
Big White Snake fan. Huge, actually. White Snake. You get it?
White Snake.
Do you get it?
I get it.
Do you?
I think so.
Okay. Are you sure?
Maybe not. You can explain it to me during the break.
Okay, I will. You know what it's. You know what it's. You
need it?
You know what he's referring to.
I would. I
Use
don't
your
know.
imagination.
I'm
Use your
using my
imagination.
imagination.
Is the White Snake.
An albino cobra.
As much as you're going to try to force us to call you the Cobra, since Dave Parker passed away, it's not going to happen.
It's
never gonna
now.
happen.
It is
Someone's
open.
got-
Someone has
gotta
to take
it.
the moniker.
I'm throwing my hat
He
into
didn't
the
leave
ring.
that to you in his trust and will.
It is not you. You're not going to be
You're not him.
the new Cobra.
I'm surprised it took you so long for Plain White Tees.
I blanked on it.
A little bit.
Yeah. I mean, that's
As much as Hey There, Delilah gets played.
but
on
we
the
never
show.
say who it, we never say who it is.
Plain White Ben.
Plain White Ben.
Is that my nickname? Is that what I'm getting
Yes.
instead of the Cobra?
That is
What
exactly
was the other one?
Average White Ben.
Average White Ben.
Average White Ben.
So much better than Cobra for you. So much better for you.
Give me a little pick up the pieces on the way out if you can, Paulie, because I want to open the phone lines for Padres fans. 833-288-0973. Talk about last night's game, you Darvish's return, Manny's legacy. 2,000 hits. We are opening for our next segment. We don't do that very often, but they are open right now at 833-288-0973 with more Ben and Woods on the way on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Quickly, let me tell you guys out there about Loan Pronto. If you're maxed out on your credit card, struggling with high interest debt, you could pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. You can get cash out now without touching your low rate first mortgage, no appraisals, no waiting, no BS. Most importantly, the Rapid Equity Loan program at Loan Pronto is amazing. Just give them a call and ask them how you can get this thing started. Instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. That equity in your home is your equity. You can use it, get cash out to consolidate all your debt, your bills down to one easy, low monthly payment. Breathe a little easier. That's what it's all about. See how much cash you can get out today. They are A+ rated by the BBB. They've got nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Service is impeccable. Call now. Get the conversation started at 619-207-4336 or loanpronto.com. 619-207-4336. Get debt relief now at loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781. On approved credit, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
I'm sensing some impatience with AJ Preller out in Padres land
Yeah,
right now.
I see that a lot. I think when you went into opening day and you had some question marks like Jason Hayward, Yuli Gurriel, guys like that, again, how much of that is on him? How much of that is on ownership? I think what you need to look at, because given an empty check, given a blank check, Benny, he's certainly not having Jason Hayward and Yuli Gurriel on the roster.
But I think he is funded more than adequately to put together a good team on the field. He's missed on a few.
Yeah. He's hit on some.
Gavin Sheets was a huge hit.
Yeah, huge hit.
For nothing. But he's missed on a few of these as well. However, and we're going to take some phone calls here, 833-288-0973 if you want to get online. As we approach the trade deadline, and everyone's going, why don't you just do something? Pick up someone. Pick up anybody.
I think he wants to.
But is it possible he's playing this the right way? And I will explain when we come back from traffic.
Do I need to
here
get my turd polishing sound out?
on 97.3 The Fan. It's possible. It's possible.
From the 855
Get the rag.
Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury. Here's Kelly Danick.
Turned out to be kind of a busy ride this morning, especially in the North County. Got this collision on Las Pulgas off-ramp, southbound 5. Also an accident being cleared from Lucadia on-ramp to southbound 5. East 78 before Mar Vista, accident being cleared out of lanes. Elsewhere around the county, an accident westbound 8 just past the 15. It's now in the center divide. Here's something you don't see every day. Northbound 125 past H Street, reports of a couple of goats standing off to the right shoulder. I'm thinking they mean livestock, not the kind you guys talk about on the station all the time. Traveling on eastbound 8, just before the 125, reports of some sort of debris in that right lane. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
One argument I see a lot. I haven't even gotten there yet.
He didn't even do what he said.
Hold on. Let me say my piece.
Paulie, get the rag.
Let me say my piece. One argument that I see a lot, and usually I nod my head. Yeah, absolutely. Why doesn't AJ Preller just go out and get just a body like
Rowdy Tellez was DFA,
Mike Tauchman, Austin Slater, something, even a trade that wouldn't be for much,
right,
and put them in right now? Or why didn't you do it a month ago and improve that bottom of your lineup? And there's a lot of validity to that. Like, You have spent a lot of at-bats on unproductive players at the bottom of your order. There's got to be someone out there, without pulling off a blockbuster trade, that could fit the bill. But, and here's my potential argument in favor of A.J. Preller.
Get the rack.
If you did that, let's say you did that right now, July 8th.
Mm-hmm.
Now what do you do? Now, okay, you're going to play whoever you acquired, see how they do.
Right.
Then do you make another trade in 2 weeks if it's not working out? Or do you give that guy more time? Or what if he works out for a week or two and then the trade deadline passes and then they become no good and you got, we should have done something different.
Well, by that logic.
Is AJ biding his time to make a bigger deal here before the break? And there's no reason to make another deal. He's going to make a big deal coming up soon.
So it's very obvious he has to make a deal. There's no question.
He knows that.
He knows
He's told us that.
He told us.
He knows that.
And AC just talked about it. Everyone, he's looking for a couple of bats. Everybody knows he's looking for a couple of bats. The low risk guys that you could add, Ben, and if they hit, great. If they don't, that you can DFA. It doesn't cost you.
But how long does it take before you know if they're the right guy?
Well, I mean, it's
not like 3 days and you go, oh, wrong guy. Let's go. Let's move on.
But
that's what you did with your own minor leaguers.
But you're doing it already. You're still giving Trenton Brooks ABs
right,
in the DH slot.
If you acquire someone, you have to drop people from your 40-man now.
Sure. Yeah, there's business that goes along.
When you bring up Tirso Ornelas, he's on the 40-man. This didn't work out for 5 days. Put him back in AAA. We didn't lose him. Nothing happened. You acquire 2 average bats. You got to get rid of 2 guys. 2 guys you might like, actually, that are somewhere in your organization. So it's not totally cost-free. If he waits until July 30th and then he gets Rowdy Tellez, or that kind of player, I'll go, why didn't you do that 2 months ago? Which leads me to believe he's aiming much higher. And if he is, there's no point in renting and losing 2 guys in your organization for someone you're just going to have for 2 weeks, and then you're making a bigger deal. I think that's what we're looking at here. Now, will he pull it off? I don't know. But my guess is this means that AJ is aiming a little bit higher than we think in terms of what he's trying to get done here.
Would you guys like to hear a little bit of AJ? He was on MLB Network radio yesterday. Yeah.
But again, I think the biggest thing is, from my standpoint in this chair, we're prepared because we've got great scouts, analysts, staff, coaching staff that, they all participate in the process. We feel like we have a pretty good pulse on the league and who's out there. It doesn't always mean you're going to make great decisions, but I think we're in position, with talented players in our organization, both at the major league and minor league level, to at least be in these conversations. And then you got to, as a GM, evaluate how realistic it is that your team can win and contend, and then try to weigh that out versus future, and wanting to make sure that's a sustained run. So, we've had the chance here, over the last 5 years to be in 3 playoff runs, and we've had 5 in a row where we've been in the mix till the end. And at the end of the day, we'll look at our team here this year. Getting Darvish King back would be huge. The bullpen's been strong. We've got a lot of different weapons in the pen. We've had some you could add to a strength. And on the offense side, it's probably rounding out the depth of the lineup. I think, like you mentioned, the top of the lineup should be strong. We're hitting 7th and 8th some nights, but you've got to be deep, 1 through 9. And I think probably adding a bat or 2 is something that we're going to look at here in the next few weeks. To try to help our team get to October,
which is fine. And
it's all lip service until something happens, though.
Well,
but at least, is that not what we want to hear? He's thinking the same thing we all are.
Right,
you got to add to the bottom.
But
of the
again, these games that you talk about, that you're in the softer part of your schedule, you need it now. Like I don't know that you can afford to wait another 3 weeks, man. Could you be dead and buried by then?
I don't believe entirely what AJ was saying when he said you have to, as an organization, decide whether you want to go for it or not, whether you believe in your team or not. AJ believes in his team. If anything, it's one of his maybe biggest weaknesses. He always believes in his team. And he believes in this team. I believe that AJ believes in this team. He's not selling. He's going to buy. He's going to buy and try to win again this year. I don't think he has that makeup that he's going to look with a cold clinical eye and go, I like these guys, but they just don't have enough. He's going to believe that Tatis is going to get hot, that Merrill is going to figure it out, that Manny's going to have a big second half. And if he adds a couple of pieces, the playoffs are crazy enough that they could win a World Series this year. I don't think AJ is anywhere close to giving up on this team. So he's going to buy. The question is what and when.
I agree with that, but I think 3 weeks left until the deadline. There's a lot of games. How many games between now and the trade deadline?
There's 6 more before the break.
Yep.
And then probably another 10 or 11 after the break, so maybe like 17 games.
I mean, again, that's a good stretch there that you need to win as many of those games as possible. You see the Giants creeping, the Diamondbacks who we're currently playing, we're losing ground to them if we lose. Dodgers are they've lost 4 in a row, but Glasnow's back tomorrow. Like, they're going to be fine. We know they're going to be there at the end. I don't know. I don't know that you can afford to just wait 3 weeks to improve your roster. And again, I've talked about it before. There's no magical orchard that you can walk into and pick the catcher off the tree. That it doesn't exist right now. But if you have a guy, and it may cost you one more prospect, Ben, to get him now instead of in 3 weeks, maybe you do it.
But you have held on so far.
You've held on
without making any moves. You haven't damaged your season.
No, but
you're
still
haven't, there.
You're hanging around. You're hanging around.
And if you believe that once you make those moves, you're going to take off like a rocket ship, then you're fine. You're on the landing pad, still ready to go.
I feel like you're rows on the door right now. The ship is it's going down, but you're on the door and you're still alive.
There's a balance that I don't have the stomach for to be a GM.
No question.
Of waiting it out and letting the market kind of move around, but that lets other teams also kind of work on deals. And all of a sudden, if you've got plan A, B, and C, and another team swoops in and makes a deal, then you're really screwed.
Yeah.
So that's that fine line between when is it rushing and making a rational.
Well, if it's the right decision, it's not a rush.
Yeah.
If it's the right guy, if it's player X and he's the right guy for your organization and the other team is willing to dance
then
with
you want to do it as early as possible.
Do it ASAP.
Sure.
There's no reason to wait. It may cost me, one more prospect, whatever.
I was encouraged this year when they cut ties with, Hayward was on that IL for most of his stint here with the Padres, but like Gurriel, he got a chance. Mm-hmm. It didn't work out. He's not on the roster anymore. Yep. Like, they cut ties pretty quickly. Just not thrilled with the replacements.
Well, yeah, and the bottom is just, it's tough. I mean, you saw Bryce Johnson come out on deck last night in a big spot. They ended up calling him back, but yeah, man, it was they need some more depth.
We can take a couple calls here. 833-288-0973. Your leash is not unlimited, but we will listen to what you have to say, Padres fans. 833-288-0973. Dave is joining us here on a Tuesday. Good morning, Dave.
Good morning, guys.
Hey, buddy.
How's it going?
Good.
How are you?
Good. Love the show.
Thank you.
So I'm going to throw something out there that I think should be considered by AJ. I will, like you guys said, I know he's all in every year. I would like us to trade Cease because I just see him as an innings eater. He's not that dog. He's not the ace that you need in the playoffs. I would like to trade him for Spencer Jones. I'm not sure if you guys know who that is, but he's in the Yankees farm system. Kid's got like 20 home runs already, 6'7" stud, plus he's a hometown kid.
Yep.
This would be a nice move to fill out that outfield for years to come. And we all know that Cease ain't signing for, the next season. So, get rid of that and let's look forward to the future. And, you never know. He might actually, produce right now because the Yankees can't bring him up because they got too many outfielders right now.
Yeah, I don't know if they pull the trigger on that, honestly, for a rental. Now, they've shown the willingness to pay for rentals, as we know, and their rental got them to the World Series last year, didn't get them over the hump. I don't know that they look at Dylan Cease as the guy that gets them over the hump necessarily, but
if the Padres don't think he is, then other teams might not as well.
Right.
I would listen on Dylan Cease. I would listen
100%.
I would listen on anybody, but
yeah.
I would actively listen. Now,
but the problem with trading Cease is now you need a pitcher.
Michael King is a pitcher. They can come back, right? Michael King, Darvish, Nick Pivetta.
Putting a lot of hope on guys coming off injuries.
I mean, if he doesn't come back, you're not going anywhere anyway. So
let's be honest. The time to trade Dylan Cease was last offseason.
Correct.
You had the crystal ball and said,
"Oh, he's not going to be
Dylan
great.
Cease isn't going to be great, but his value right now is through the charts. You could get a lot for him on a 1-year rental.
Is through the charts saying
off the charts.
Yeah, there you go.
Not through the charts.
Through the
off
charts.
the charts.
I like it.
I think every Padre fan would say that would have been a smart move. You also would have been up in arms about your team giving up on an ace starter, and we're punting on this season. You're trading Dylan Cease. What's going on? You would have flooded ownership and management with angry emails and calls because you would have hated that move had they traded Dylan Cease in the offseason.
But I know Cease is not pitched like what we had hoped for this year. But regardless, he's giving you innings. And if you move him, you have to find a replacement for those innings.
Yeah, Michael King is that replacement. If he comes back. You know, I listen on
Could Michael King, Yu Darvish, and Nick Pivetta be your front line for a playoff run without Dylan Cease? I mean, Michael King, Darvish, and
Pivetta. You got guys like Berger, you know, who have made some strides. You got, Kolek, whatever. But yeah, I mean, look,
pitching has been the one thing that has killed us every time we make the playoffs, and we're talking about dealing one of the only guys that we do have out there every 5 days.
Yeah, I mean, he's thrown 97 innings so far for your team.
I mean, I think your best chance to win a World Series is keeping Dylan Cease and hoping he goes on a massive stretch.
Yeah.
You know, the no-hitter type stuff that we've seen from Dylan Cease in the past. It's still in there. His velocity's not down. It's in there. I think they're going to keep him. But if you were going to trade him, off-season was the time to trade him.
Yeah, and they can't do anything about that now.
Can't do anything about that now.
So you can still trade him. It doesn't.
You're just going to get less.
You're going to get less, of course. But you're
selling low.
You're not closing the window.
Let's go to Jamie. Is next up here on 97.3 The Fan. Hello, Jamie.
Howdy, gentlemen. How we doing?
Good, buddy.
I'm not giving up on Cease quite yet. I know he's struggling, and nobody thought our bullpen would be this good. I mean, it's creepy how good our bullpen is. If he just catches fire a little bit, let's be honest, the bats, they're going to catch eventually. I have no issues with what we have going on. I'm not going to panic. If we can pick somebody up, fantastic. You know he's trying. You know Crowder's trying. I think we're going to be fine. I am not going to panic, and I think Cease, at some point, I don't care if he gets hot in the playoffs. I'll take it.
That'd be great.
I don't want to give up on it.
No, that'd be great. I mean, and again, like, you got to make a decision. Do we just ride this guy and let him go out and continue to, as Paulie said, just basically eat innings at this point and hope for the best? Yeah, I think that's definitely a strategy. But I think if somebody calls on him and they want to give you the moon because they think he's going to put them over the edge, I think you got to listen, knowing he's gone after this season.
The irony is that hoping that your own players just start playing well doesn't sound like a plan.
We have about 5 of those guys.
But it probably is a pretty valid strategy and plan.
Yep.
You know, cross your fingers and hope for the best.
Yep.
If we were talking about Michael King rehab starts here, I think it's a different conversation. But when he's like about to get on a mound for the first time, I'm still very concerned about Michael King.
Yeah, but you can't replace Michael King.
No,
he either comes back or he doesn't.
Correct.
If he doesn't, don't think this season's going anywhere.
Correct.
So that's fate. That's the baseball gods will determine.
Why would you say that? I would disagree with that. They've hung around. They've stayed above 500 all season without Michael King.
Great.
If you can improve the offense that has hurt you so much, there's no reason to think
but you can't hang around and win a World Series. You can hang around
get to the playoffs.
Until
that's
Michael
all we
King
need to do
comes
is to
back.
get to the playoffs right now.
But I think
right
to
now.
win, you need Michael King eventually. You can't replace him.
We're out of the wild card today, right?
Correct.
So
I think you need King and Cease.
Need some help.
I don't think it's one or the other.
All right, we'll continue this discussion, and I've got a Dodger question for y'all coming up next here on 97.3 The Fan. ones to grit your teeth, hold your nose, and as it does come every year, cheer for the Dodgers.
You're out of your mind. You're such a hot take.
Welcome
artist.
back. It's not really
Hey,
a hot
everybody.
take.
Colin Cowherd is here.
I know how you feel. I get it. Woods and I are different sorts of fans in that respect.
Go Dave Roberts.
Welcome back. I'll explain why in just a second. First, you kind of know why.
Yes.
This hour on 97.3 The Fan brought to you by Amazon. If you love deals, you'll love this Amazon Prime Day. It's lasting 4 days this year. 4 days of unbelievable deals in every category you can think of. So save big on everything you're into. Shop Prime Day now through July 11th. Yeah, today the Dodgers have a matchup against the Milwaukee Brewers. It's Clayton Kershaw against the big Miz, the kid, Mizorowski.
Man.
Yesterday, the Brewers played against Yamamoto, and
smoked him.
The Brewers are just ahead of the Padres in the wild card race. The Dodgers are 7 games ahead of the Padres in the NL West standings, and they're getting Tyler Glass now back tomorrow. At some point, Blake Snell will be back. They will add at the trade deadline. At some point, you have to acknowledge the Dodgers, as we thought at the beginning of the year, they're not going to be caught. So every game they lose to a wild card contender hurts the Padres. Doesn't help the Padres. The games the Dodgers lose to teams like the Brewers hurt the Padres. So by that logic, shouldn't we be cheering for the Dodgers to win games in this series against Milwaukee?
No.
We had this conversation during the offseason, and we all agreed, and we're like, yeah, there's going to be a point probably early in the season where they just run away with the division already. And it does make logical sense for them to beat up on every single other team in the National League, and we have to be okay with that. That's fine in January and February.
It's just
now
good
that we're
talking
here,
points.
now that we're in the season,
Ben,
nah.
I found myself yesterday, and I know better. I've followed this game my entire life. I love it more than anything. I know better, but I did let myself when I saw they hung 5 on Yamamoto in the first.
Didn't get out of the inning. Two-thirds of an inning.
Shortest stint of his career. I let my mind go to this place. You ready? This is where it went. What if? Why not them? Why not a colossal choke job? They just won a World Series. I get it. You're not so hungry after you've just been fed. You just had a huge meal. You have a huge meal. You're not that hungry. Added all these pieces. I mean, I let myself go there and go, they've lost 4 in a row. What if they lose 5 in a row? What if they lose 6? What if they lose 12? What if the wrong guy gets hurt? I mean, they've had so many guys hurt, and they got guys coming back. We know that. But I let myself go there. So for that reason and that reason, I'm going to hold on. I'm going to hold out hope like Andy Dufresne.
Do you really think it's possible for them to go on that bad of a streak with that high of a payroll?
I do.
With that many, those MVPs at the top of the order.
What scares me is the trade deadline. When they're like, screw it. We're going to go get blank, 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 and blank.
Oh, they will.
They're going to unload.
What makes you think they won't?
They will.
I know.
They will. They will.
So
they have plenty of valuable pieces in the minor leagues that they can trade.
The only thing that gives me any hope is the fact that I was a Padres fan in 2023. And if you had put a gun to my head and said, will you make the playoffs this year? I would say, yes. There's no question. You want my house if we don't? Boy, I would have lost my house. Would have been sleeping here at the office, showering at the Y. You know what I mean? Like, I would have said this team is too talented. Josh Hader at the back end and Juan Soto and Manny. No brainer making the playoffs.
But the goal, as we learned painfully last year again, is not the regular season. Padres did that last year. They beat the Dodgers in the regular season.
Yeah,
the goal is to beat them in the playoffs.
Yeah, correct. And
you have to get into the playoffs to beat them.
So I can't.
It doesn't if the Dodgers collapse, it does the Padres no good
if they collapse
and the Giants win the division and the Padres miss the wild card because they're a game behind the Brewers and they're a game behind the Reds and whatever.
Would I sacrifice the Padres playoff appearance for the Dodgers collapsing this year? Don't put me on.
You're a bigger hater than you are a lover.
Don't put me on a lie detector test right now. I don't know.
Commendatory says defeatist take or fear can hold you prisoner. No, Drew says defeatist take.
What's that? Which one? Who's?
My take. He says, keep the faith, Ben Higgins.
Oh, that they'll lose.
Defeatist take, that they're not going to catch the Dodgers and win the division. It's not even what I'm rooting for them to make the playoffs.
Yeah, me too. But I can't. Listen. The general overarching point here is, do you root for the Dodgers to beat the Brewers today? Absolutely not. I root for Jacob Misiorowski to absolutely shove it down their throats and win the game.
It's a much more dangerous path to tread.
I like danger. My middle name
if
is
the Brewers
Danger.
are good enough to beat up on the Dodgers every day, then they're going to run away with a wild card spot. The Phillies and the Mets, one of those teams probably ended up with a wild card. Now you're just down to one option left.
All
Can you get ahead of the Giants and stay ahead of the Giants?
I get it.
A team that just went, all in by acquiring Rafael Devers.
You are not wrong. You are not wrong, but there is no chance I flip the game on tonight. Tanner Scott's in to lock down the save. He blows it, and I go, oh, man, come on, loser.
Now,
There's no chance.
Can I
couch it for a second? Let me couch it. We get down to the last game of the year, and they need to beat the Cardinals to get us in the playoffs. Yes, go Dodgers. Don't say that, Paulie. I'll kill you. Do not. But fine. But we're not there yet. We're in July. And for now,
well, that's why I waited until now. Though you can start to see the picture developing at this point.
Absolutely,
early in the season, you got no idea who's going to be in the wild card race. Maybe the Padres do have a magical year; they beat the Dodgers. We are starting to see the picture developing. The Dodgers have built up a sizable lead in the NL West. There is a massive amount of 6 or 7 teams that are fighting for 3 playoff spots. They only play limited games against the Dodgers every year. Padres still have 6 more to play against the Dodgers. Clearly, I'll be cheering for the Padres in those games. Am I going to sit and watch the game tonight and go, let's go Dodgers, come on. When I look at the score at the end and it's Dodgers 8, Brewers 5, am I going to find, fine, good. No, that's good for the Padres that the Brewers lost today.
No.
Because when I saw yesterday the Brewers go 5-0 up in the first inning,
I was elated.
I was like, I don't like that really.
I was elated.
Don't like that.
I was elated. I was so excited.
The Brewers
I told my son,
me.
and he goes, yes. I loved it.
Brewers worry me. The Dodgers don't. They don't really worry me because they are. I know who they are.
I'm a generational hater, though. You're not.
I know.
You're logical. Being a baseball fan and being logical must be terrible.
It is hard.
It's awful for you. I'm sorry.
It is
sorry.
hard.
This is so much easier. This is just being filled with loathing is so much better, I think. But no, I mean, look, logically, you're right. But I don't like logical. Doesn't make sense.
That's the hardest part. You can still loathe them, but you need them to win. Sometimes.
I don't want them to win. I don't want them to win another game.
You need them to win.
I don't want them to win another game. And, that's just the way that it goes. That's the way it goes. I fully expect them to be there and right the ship, and they'll probably Kershaw will probably figure out a way to go 6 today, 6 strong, 1 run. They'll pound this guy Misiorowski today because he's also on my fantasy team, so I know that L is coming. But no, I can't get my head around it, man. I really can't. I as much as I know it makes sense, I just can't do it. I just can't do it.
But
I was literally
because you said you would if it was the last day.
This was the last this season,
and the Padres have already won, and it comes down to the
Dodgers.
Cardinals,
the Dodgers would tank that game. They would.
But you need them to win. You'd be cheering for them. Well, every game is just as important as that last game of the season, and I'm starting to see the picture develop. And I feel like there's a real good shot you could come down with the Brewers and the Padres like this, within a game at the end, and you're going to go. I wish the Dodgers had taken care of business when they dropped 2 out of 3 or got swept by the Brewers in the middle of the season. We wouldn't be worried about it anymore if they had just won 2 out of 3.
Mel is like me. He says, if rooting for the Dodgers for one game for us to make the playoffs, I still don't think I could. I know. It's one of those where I'd have to go sit in the woods and then poke my head out after and go, what's the result? Are we in or are we out? Listen, at the end of the day, I would like the Padres to win more baseball games, Ben, so that you don't have to worry about this mess. And you can take care of those teams like, for example,
we can agree with
the
that.
Arizona Diamondbacks, the San Francisco Giants, when we play the Cardinals here at the end of the month, let's take it to those guys, and beat those teams. This team needs to get on a run.
And I hope that, Padres go on a run and all of a sudden I'm changing my tune again.
Sure.
Dodgers are only 3 games up now in the standings. Go Brewers, go Cardinals.
Let's take
down the Dodgers as much as possible.
I'd love to make it hard for those guys because, you still hear from them. It's funny, man, because as well as they played against us, we were in those games and of course took care of them in the regular season last year. There is something about this Padres team that gives those guys a little bit of pause. There just is. And Mookie said it on his podcast with Jackson Merrill. Like we want to beat you guys, man. Like Kike Hernandez talks about, Joe Kelly just did a podcast where he said, look, I understand National American League. I understand. He goes, but at the end of the day, last year's World Series should have been the Padres against the Dodgers. I don't care how you figure it out. You figure it out, right? Obviously, that's never going to happen unless they integrate the leagues to one giant league. But he said, go Dodgers. Paulie, I will murder you. I told you. You're on suspension. And I thought, man, what a great take by Joe Kelly. That should have been the World Series. 7 games, Padres, Dodgers, the 2 best teams. Obviously, it can't happen because of logistics, but how great would that be?
At least NLCS.
At least
get
NLCS.
a 7-game series in here at some point.
Exactly. So there is something about this rivalry that's blooming and budding and all that you want to play those games and they can beat anybody on any given night, but so can we. I feel like, and especially those Cats, man. We play them really, really tough, really tough.
So there's also something else on AJ Preller's plate here other than the trade deadline. Did you know the draft begins on Sunday?
Sure did.
It's coming up. I think it's just 2 days now. It's Sunday and Monday.
Where are we?
So the Padres have only 2 picks on day one. Number 25 overall and number 99 overall. There's a big gap for AJ to sit around and twiddle his thumbs.
Lost a couple of
by signing Nick Pivetta, they lost their 2nd-round pick, I believe, compensatory selection due to the way, because he got a qualifying offer from the Boston Red Sox. Padres lose that pick. So we will see what the Padres do. Here was an interesting nugget I saw yesterday, though. In the last 8 drafts, which were all under AJ Preller, the Padres' first 2 picks, every single time, have been high school players.
Yep.
They do not go high in the draft on college guys who would be, and you'd think with AJ, like,
ready sooner.
Yeah, ready sooner. We're ready to win. Maybe here's a guy who can contribute in a year or so.
Yeah.
But he has not gone that way. He loves the high upside, a little more risk, but he's willing to take that risk by going with high school pitchers. High school pitchers are the riskiest proposition in the draft. Lefties.
Brian Weathers.
Loves them. Loves going with the lefties in the draft from high school. Very high risk, but potentially high reward. You hit on a couple of them,
trade a couple of them.
You trade a couple of them, but only 2 picks. Like the Dodgers have way more picks. Other big market teams, they have more picks than the Padres do. AJ doesn't have a lot
there's
of wiggle room to get them wrong here this weekend.
As Tim says, there's more tread on those tires. Those guys that come out of college, especially the pitchers. I mean,
but you're going to be putting tread on the high school tires too.
You are, but you can put the tread on it your way. Driving it your way.
That's true.
Right? It's a little bit different than you get it's a new car. You're getting a new car that you get to kind of manipulate. When you get a used car, you hope that it works.
The thinking is once they've gone through, 3 years of college and they are ready to come out, they're not a finished product, but you kind of can see what they are. Paul Skeens, sure. You knew he was going to be great, but Padres don't draft high enough
Paul Skeens.
to get a Paul Skeens.
Right.
High school players, you can still think, all right, they may be throwing 93 now. This guy might be throwing 99 or 100, though, in a couple of years as he develops and, grows into his arm and his body. So you always kind of have that dream projection. Whereas with college guys, they're close to their max velocity. They're close to what they are already. It may look pretty good, but it never quite what you can dream on with the high school.
I mean, he drafted the Golden Spikes winner and Kevin Kopps. We've never seen the guy. Right?
Yeah, but even he was like a 4th or 5th rounder, wasn't he?
Wasn't he? He won the Golden Spikes, didn't he?
He was. That's because college players, even the best college player in the country, is not as exciting as the unknown high school quantity.
Yeah, it's interesting.
So I think we'll probably see the same strategy from AJ Preller again. They get less of a bonus pool too because they lost that compensatory pick. Will they draft kind of underslot in the first so they can save more money for that 99th overall pick and draft someone who they need to convince to not go to college? Because once you go, you're like barely in the top 100, you're thinking, I might be better off just going to college, get some NIL money, get some scholarships, and then come back in 3 years, and maybe I'll be a top 20 pick by that point. So the Padres will have to convince that person No, we'll give you enough money that it's worth it to start your pro career at number 99.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, the draft is not, it doesn't move me tremendously with the 25th and the 99th pick, but it moves AJ Preller and his crew. No question about it, man. They live for this stuff. So, look, that's this Sunday and next Monday.
Yeah, and not that AJ can't, walk and chew gum at the same time. He's got a big staff. He can look at trades and the draft at the same time, but there is going to be a lot of focus in these days, particularly on the draft. Yes. Not just the first couple of rounds, but the second day when you have a bunch. How many rounds does it go now? Just 10?
Sounds right.
Yeah. I mean, it used to be like
lot
60, 67 rounds or something. It was nuts. They have scaled it back big time, but it's still 20 rounds now. So, I mean, you still
3
have
days. Day 1, rounds 1 and 2. Day 2, rounds 3 through 10. Day 3, rounds
so
11 through 20.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
Yep.
That's probably a good part of his focus right now. So maybe you don't see anything in terms of trades happen until after that.
Yeah, they're saying draft will feature 20 rounds overall across 2 days. So July 13th and 14th.
Okay, just 2 days now, but 20 rounds.
Yep. There we go.
Yeah. It's not impossible to make a trade right now.
No.
But the draft is a major focus for the next week.
God, it's so weird.
Morning, guys.
Because obviously it has to be. It has to be. But in my mind, I'm like, I have people for that. You guys make your best decisions, run it by me, but I need to get a catcher, and I need to get a left fielder. I need to get a designated hitter. I got to improve. We are in one of Manny's best years, and we can't afford to throw this thing away. We got star players on this team that got to get it going, and maybe a little shot of life injection to the team, the starting rotation, the bullpen, the batting lineup. Maybe that does it. And we go on a little bit of a run here. This team is capable of a run. There's no question.
Angelo, with the best draft insight on AJ Preller ever, says just look for the coolest name.
Yeah, look for the most interesting
AJ
name.
draft. Well, it's funny because I was looking at ESPN's draft preview, and the name that they connected with the Padres, Cruz Schoolcraft.
Sounds made up.
Kruz, and then Schoolcraft. I don't even know who he is, but sounds like the absolute perfect AJ Preller draft selection. Cruz Schoolcraft.
It's not dirty enough.
No, it's true. Remember that one year?
Like Homer Bush.
It's like Mike Spatchcock and all kinds of names. I was like, whoa, what is going on? Are you guys doing bits in there? It was great. It was great. Yeah,
Cash Mayfield.
I think Fritz says in the chat too, he's got to be more focused on trades than the draft. His job is kind of on, it's kind of playing for his life here.
Your job is always on.
It's always
when
on
you're a general manager.
Yeah, it's true.
And he wouldn't have kept his job this long if he hadn't done as well as he has done identifying amateur talent in the draft and the international market.
No doubt.
That's why he's here. Not going to stop caring about it now just because the team is, playing sub 500 ball over the last month and a half. He's still going to put a lot of focus on that draft.
Yeah, Jay in the middle says, didn't he draft Taint McMillan? I believe he did draft Taint. He's tearing it up in low A right now.
All right, we're going to take a quick time out. When we come back, Paulie's still got his Reindl Report. Look ahead to Game 2 of the series. Padres Diamondbacks tonight at Petco Park. All ahead after traffic on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3, The Fan. First, though, Woods and I want to tell you about trustandwill.com. Saw a feature in the local newspaper about the guys who started up trustandwill.com and how it has really grown because people understand this is making wills and estate plans available to everyone. Used to, you had to pay a ton of money for a lawyer to draft it, redraft it. You probably need to make updates as kids are born or stuff. You can do this all online, affordably and simply now, thanks to trustandwill.com.
Yeah, it's exactly right. And it's peace of mind that you absolutely need, especially if you have a family out there. I was kind of embarrassed that I waited so long to do it. Probably should have been something that we did day one. We didn't. So now we did, thanks to Trust and Will. They made it so easy and it's affordable as well. Go to trustandwill.com. Use the code FAN, F-A-N, when you check out. You'll get 20% off, plus free shipping of your estate documents.
And when you do decide to have your third, as you discussed earlier, you can make those adjustments, again, online, simply at trustandwill.com. Avoid probate court, avoid the mess, and leaving your loved ones with a big, giant hassle and a big tax penalty at the end, whenever that does come. Get it done today. Go to trustandwill.com. Use that code FAN at checkout. Get 20% off at trustandwill.com.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
I shouldn't have looked up Cruz Schoolcraft. Now I really want the Padres to draft him. I don't know that he'll last all the way to where the Padres select in the first round. 6'8" lefty, 10-1 with a 0.39 ERA, 141 strikeouts and like 71 innings.
God.
And he's hitting 500 with 7 homers and 3.
Pretty good.
30 RBI when he does play first base as well out of Sunset High School in Beaverton, Oregon.
Please draft. What is it?
Cruz Schoolcraft.
It's it happens every time this year when you start to see some of these high school kids and their numbers. They're always the first rounders. I mean, like I remember Mackenzie Gore in high school was like, oh, he has a 0.2 ERA and he struck out 190 hitters in 75 innings.
Ryan Weathers, I don't think gave up a run in like 3 years.
Right.
I mean,
it's absurd.
Really, like it was absolutely
struck
insane.
out once in 3 years of varsity baseball.
Yeah, it's a different level. Like when I played high school, it's like that guy throws 84. We're dead. We are dead. I mean, he throws 84 miles an hour. No one's hitting this guy now. Like, oh, you throw 84, go to the outfield. Like you have no chance. It's surviving. It really is fascinating. I remember when I looked up Ryan Weathers' stats when they drafted him, and I went, I couldn't believe it. Now, played in a really small town, against other little small towns. You have to take that into account, but that's serious business. Baseball is still baseball at the end of the day. But yeah, what a stat line. For him.
The consensus top prospect in this draft, of course, is Ethan Holiday. Jackson's brother.
What are they doing?
How many more are there?
Is this the last one? Is this
I
the
don't
last
know.
one?
I don't know. They keep finding new ones. for the draft.
It was remarkable watching Jack Leiter pitch the other day because he looks just like his dad, Al Leiter, kind of like his uncle. Mark is his cousin.
Mark also is his uncle.
Mark Jr. and Junior. Yes,
Yeah.
Mark his uncle and Mark Jr. his cousin. And Hannah and I were watching the game, and she's like, "Well, they've figured it out. They tapped into the source." And I go, "I how do they do this? This breeding of these big leaguers, 4 big leaguers in the same family is pretty nuts."
I mean, there's
imagine being the high school coach in that neighborhood, and you're just like every couple years,
here's a new Leiter. Here's a new Holiday.
There's certainly a genetic component to it, but I think more importantly is a mindset that the dad, the uncle, whatever, had to learn their hard way.
Of course,
and the kids have a big advantage,
no doubt,
of having a big league parent,
no doubt,
of telling them all the mistakes they made on their path to the big league that they can now avoid.
Not only that, it's just the being around the game constantly. Being around big leaguers, being around ballparks. It's not as, when they toe the rubber or whatever. It's like, oh, all right, I've been in these big stadiums before. I grew up here. I used to take ground balls and hit BP, the Prince Fielders of the world. It's, Tony Gwynn, right? Like it's all these people that had that. Yeah, it's such an advantage. Now, it doesn't mean 100% of the time it works out. Oftentimes it doesn't, but so Ethan Holiday, he's expected to go 1 overall to the Nationals.
Financial can always be an aspect of it, so they may go a different direction, but he's considered the number 1 prospect. Yeah.
Interesting.
Tonight, Padres need a win. Got the right guy on the mound, Nick Pivetta, who's been so good this season. He'll be going up against the guy who's been pretty good for the Diamondbacks as well, in Merrill Kelly. Now, the Padres did beat Merrill Kelly, the only win they got in that series in Arizona. Nick Pivetta, though, get this one, then you got a chance to go forward and still take the series, but you've already lost the first game of a 4-gamer. Not the way you wanted to start last night. Puts more pressure on Nick Pivetta tonight.
Yeah, we do like to play behind the 8 ball to win or split these series every single time, it seems. So
it's nice to finally take the first one from the Rangers, but now back to the old. Drop the first one and have to scramble your way to a series win or a split at the end of the series.
Yeah, pretty simple. I mean, really, the formula is simple for the San Diego Padres. I think they know it's we need to score runs. We need to score runs.
4 is the magic number. Now, 4 wouldn't have been enough yesterday, but they didn't get there. So add to the records. The big losing record when they score 3 or less, and the big winning record when they score 4 or more. That has been the key all season long.
Excellent.
All right, we will take one more timeout. When we come back, Paulie, what do you have in store for us on the Reindl Report?
We've got somebody getting dragged on social media for some bits. I'll let you decide if it's worthy or not.
All right, that's coming up next with Ben Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Well, quickly, let me tell you about EcoWater, all the great work that they are doing out there in San Diego. If you have the EcoWater system, you can tune out because you know exactly. That hard water that you currently have here in San Diego, if you don't have EcoWater, is wrecking your plumbing, your appliances, your water heater. Don't ignore it, obviously, because you could have to repipe your home. It costs about $24,000, so that's no big deal for you. Then don't listen, right? But EcoWater SoCal, you can see the difference right now. We switched out all the shower heads in our home. There's nothing. I mean, no green gunk buildup, anything like that. Plus, this is what we're putting in our body every day. So good. Every night, fill up the kids' water bottles from the sink in the bathroom because we've got the EcoWater system. Their alkaline filters take hydration to the next level. Soft, purified water is a complete game changer for your skin, your hair. Coffee tastes great. Everybody's super happy. You're giving your kids and your pets the best water that they can drink. So get a free in-home water test today by calling EcoWater at 760-350-3338. Let them come out, do that test for you. It will blow your mind. Try the Soft Life and alkaline water now, just $9.95 a month. Again, 760-350-3338, or go to ecowatersocal.com. Let them know Woodsy sent you. Not everything in life should be hard, especially your water. Keeping it soft since 1925. EcoWater, your water should be perfect.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Jamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
Starting to worry. Am I just one of those online bots and not a real person?
How so?
How would you know? Well, they're talking in the chat about having to, when you have to click on the boxes that all have like a stoplight?
Yes.
Or a bicycle,
yeah.
or a crosswalk.
Yeah.
I do very poorly on those.
I'm not great at it.
Okay,
either.
good. I'm not the only one.
No,
I just never know what to do. Like
slide the puzzle piece over.
Yeah.
When the like one corner of the stoplight's in the next square, do I pick it? Do I not pick it?
Yeah, I always, if it's 1% in the box,
You have to take it.
I take it.
You do have to take it.
Yeah, you got to take it. I hate those things.
I struggle. I'm like trying to order some Thai food. Come on, just let me order the food.
Where do you do that? Where you have to do that to order food?
It's like when it's one of the online like Toast or whatever, and they check every
really?
time before you can like do your Apple Pay. I've got to pass that CAPTCHA test about whether I'm a real person or not, and half the time I fail.
I do too. That happens to me all the time. No, pick the one with the bicycle, and I'm like, is that a spoke? I think I see a spoke. That's a pedal.
Don't know.
I hate it.
Is that a bridge way out in the distance?
Yeah,
I
it's
can't
a
even
bridge.
see. Is it a bridge or not a bridge?
Pick the ones with windows in it. I'm like, I don't know. Sometimes it's like all of them or all but one.
No idea.
I hate it, dude. I hate it too. I have to put my
The
glasses
squiggly letters and numbers.
I can't read those
I
at
have
all.
no
I have
idea
no
what that
idea.
even is supposed to be.
Yeah, I mean, it's everything online is challenging for me. Every single thing online. There's nothing I'm not challenged by online. True boomer. I mean, true. There's nothing that's not challenging for me. Nothing. All of it. Checking all my stuff for my trip next week.
I feel like I've gotten better using like apps, and I'm starting to get
I
better.
still think I'm using the internet wrong. I still don't think I know fully that I'm using it the right way. I really don't.
All right, Paulie's going to take us the rest of the way to 10 o'clock with the Reindl Report. It is coming up after our last check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Well, guys, getting reports of a crash on northbound 15 near Valley Parkway. This is over to the right shoulder, but on southbound 15, just before Valley Parkway, reports of a crash in the center divide, partially in the fast lane. It looks like one vehicle may be leaking fuel. So watch out for a little activity there, south 15 before Valley Parkway. Also, northbound 163, just before the 8, some debris reported in the center divide. And westbound 8 near Taylor Street, collision in the center divide. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Wood, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
And get things started here with our today's edition of the Reindl Report.
Now tuned into the greatest.
Welcome to the Reindl Report with Paul Reindl.
Hi, Paul.
All right.
2 stories from the world of sports that we haven't gotten to yet.
We'll start off in Major League Baseball.
And 1 story that you didn't know you needed.
Are you laughing, biatch?
It's the Reindl Report
Hey, Paul, how you doing? Okay, how are you?
on 97.3 The Fan.
Are you ready to bless the mood? I need some help, please.
That was good.
Can I get a oh yeah? Oh yeah.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Happy Tuesday,
Happy
gentlemen.
Tuesday.
let's get right into it here. So I'll pay off the tease. This happened on Sunday night, so we missed it yesterday, but I wanted to get you guys' thoughts. We were in Philadelphia last week, and everybody said, hey, be careful, those Philly fans, like, they don't put up with any crap.
Yeah.
Now, I've not been to Chicago. Has anybody else in this room been to Chicago? Woodsy used to live there. Okay.
I've been there.
Chicago fans, a little bit similar. Don't mess with them. They know what they're doing. They know what they like.
I'd say White Sox fans are a little scary. And then Cubs fans, unless you're in the bleachers, pretty chill. If you're in the bleachers, strap in, dude.
Well, we're talking about Cubs fans. On Sunday Night Baseball, Cubs and Cardinals this weekend. Totally didn't realize until Sunday, by the way, that it was an ESPN doubleheader and the Padres were playing it.
Padres won the doubleheader.
6 o'clock that night.
I got like 100 DMs for the concierge.
Yeah.
Where are the Padres now? I'm like, I'm back on ESPN now.
Yeah. So it was a doubleheader. And in the Cubs and Cardinals games at Wrigley Field, they had the celebrity 7th inning stretch.
Yep.
They do it all the time. It is a big deal. I imagine it's quite an honor to be asked
100%
to do the 7th inning stretch at Wrigley Field. And Alex Cooper, the host of Call Her Daddy, very popular podcast, she was invited on Sunday night to do the 7th inning stretch. She didn't just get like crushed for this. She got booed. Like the whole stadium booing her.
What did she do?
Well, take a listen and you tell me what you think. She basically was just doing bits up there, and I think the booing might have been warranted.
All right.
All right, Daddy Gang and Cubs fans, are you ready?
Hello.
You've never seen something like this before. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack.
Cracker Jack?
Never come back, so let's root for the Cubbies. If they don't win, it's a shame. So it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the
I mean, you can hear the boos.
That is excruciating.
First of all, the plural of Cracker Jack is Crackers Jack.
Crackers Jack. Yeah.
Secondly, she deserves to get booed. So the Cubs' tradition of doing the 7th inning stretch is a tribute to Harry Carey, who used to be in charge of doing it.
A 1,
a
2,
2, and a 3, and it was beloved. It was an institution until he passed away, and it's up to the celebrities who they invite to go up to Harry's booth to carry on that tradition. And while it's fun, you have to have at least a modicum of respect for where it came from in the beginning. It's not just to do bits and promote your podcast or whatever she was. What does she do again?
She does a podcast.
A podcast.
I mean, like
It's
one
massive.
of the biggest podcasts on the planet right now. And I've seen clips. I don't know much about the show. I've seen clips going around on social media. I imagine that demeanor is probably a lot of what she does on her podcast, which is fine, totally fine. But I don't know that it works when you're like invited to do something like this. I don't know that everyone's gonna like be open to you laughing through it and
So
just doing a weird
There's a
bit.
weird interpretation of the song. She made an artistic choice, and I believe it was the wrong one.
Like, I don't think she actually sings like that.
Yeah, if you're you can do it and be a bad singer. A lot of people have done it, and they're just not good singers because not everybody is a great singer. But she made the choice to do it poorly and weirdly.
Would you do that?
Oh yeah,
you would.
I mean, I'm not a Cubs fan, but if the Padres had that tradition and asked, I would lead.
Are you kidding me?
Petco Park in a rousing rendition of "Take Me Out to the Ball Game."
You would?
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, there's no way.
Couldn't do it.
I can sing a little. I still
You
wouldn't.
can.
No,
Why
I would
wouldn't you
not do it.
You have no problem.
I would be. There's no
Some
way.
people just kind of get it started. You know, they do the 1, 2, 3, take me, and then they let the crowd kind of take over and not go the whole way.
I would do. I did it for. We done first pitches. No problem. We'll do that.
I'd actually rather sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" than throw another first pitch. Thank you.
Yeah, I understand that actually.
Still put the blame of that one on
Johnny Brito.
Johnny Brito.
It's a shame if they lose.
It's a shame if they lose. Wait, is that the same song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take me out to the ball game.
Yeah. I wouldn't do it. What if they asked you to sing the national anthem? There's no way.
That would be a little dicier.
Because
That's
It's
hard.
a shame if they lose.
That's a hard
Get
song
him.
to sing.
Get him to do it.
Oh, he would crush it at Wrigley.
Get him at Petco.
Yeah.
That guy who just makes up his own words to take me out to the ball game. It's the best. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. That was really bad. Yeah, she deserved it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's mortifying. It makes me pucker. Like, it's so mortifying.
Well, that's it for the sports.
All right.
We like to talk about weird food items.
Yes,
I got
we
a
do.
good one for you here. One of the greatest cereals to ever grace the planet, I think, is making a big mistake. Talking about CTC, Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Oh, yeah.
Just
Elite.
Absolute elite.
Top shelf.
Can't do it as much as you'd like.
Top 3, right.
You'll die.
Yeah.
It's that sugary and just amazing.
It's
But
really good. I like the film that it leaves in your mouth after you're done eating
drink
it.
the milk.
The film. Just eating from eating the cereal, you get the.
I think the texture is also a little.
Oh, it's delicious. It's
kind of
perfect.
that
Perfect.
It is
crunchy,
a
ricey.
square
Yes,
thing.
it's light.
It's really good.
Yes.
Well,
What are they
Cinnamon
doing?
Toast Crunch has partnered up with Hormel, the company, for a new.
The chili company.
Yes, they have teamed
Hormel,
up
by
with
the way.
Okay.
a bacon flavored Cinnamon Toast Crunch cereal.
I thought it was going to be like a Cincinnati chili version, which is a cinnamon chili that they make in Cincinnati.
No, it's actual cereal. I'll throw a picture up there on the YouTube stream for those watching along. It's got 6-ounce bags available today, starting today at Walmart.
Okay.
And I was watching this guy on TikTok, Snackalator. He does a lot of taste tests and checking them out. He said it's actually not terrible, but
it's okay.
General Mills, they want to continue with the breakfast theme, and they're going to take bacon, delicious breakfast item, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, delicious breakfast item, and combine them.
I bet it's okay.
They say it still has the cinnamon taste. It's just got like a bacon flavor on top of it, so it's a little bit of savory and sweet.
I bet it's all right.
It's a limited time thing. Like I said, it starts today at Walmart if you want to go try a 6-ounce bag of bacon flavored Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Sweet and salty. I
Yeah,
kind of get
I
it.
can
I
do
kind of get it.
I could do it.
They have more Cinnamon Toast Crunch variations than I realized.
Do they?
Cinnamon Toast Crunch rolls, French Toast Crunch, Cinnamon Toast Crunch waffles, Cinnamon Toast Crunch loaded with like frosting in the middle.
Oh, Caesar said he's tried it. CTC bacon is
Toast Crunch. It's graham instead of rice.
Cocaine and Cinnamon Toast Crunch. A gram of it.
No, GRAHAM.
Oh,
we may have
graham.
talked about this around this time last year. They did partner up, the same companies. They did cinnamon flavored, like cinnamon toast flavored bacon.
Okay.
And it was actually a success. Like
good.
people loved it.
Yeah, candied bacon is good.
Delicious.
So they were kind of reversing that and trying it the other way around.
Hormel has always been a funny name for a company. Hey, what do you guys want to call it? What about Hormel? It just kills me every time. Every time I hear it, I got it pretty good. Hormel. I don't like the sound of it in my head, and I don't want to eat anything made by Hormel. I just don't. I'm sorry. I'm weird like that.
There's so many reasons.
There's so many reasons. It's just weird. It's Hormel.
First, what they're making is it's really gross.
It's chili,
They're
right? Canned chili.
But then the name, I mean,
Hormel. This is the way that it's said. I don't like it. It does. I don't like the cut of its jib at all. Hormel. It's too harsh.
And then
it's too close to like hormonal and
right. Hormel.
Hormel.
Hormel. Oh, that's Hormel. Don't, Ben, do not go back to Hormel.
Mel in our chat gives an LOL there. Sorry, Mel.
We have Hormel at home.
We have Hormel at home. Yeah. Hormel. I just don't like it. I'm sorry. No offense, Hormel, if you're out there listening.
I assume it's like a family name or something.
Yeah, it's got to be. Bill and Bob
George A. Hormel.
Is that right?
Yeah, George Hormel.
The Hormels. I would rather go with George's chili. I would eat George's chili before I would eat Hormel. There you go.
It's also American guitarist Smokey Hormel.
All right. Hormel.
And then finally, still don't know why I include these stories. I think it's more of like a lesson learned for where we're at as a society. AI continues to do what AI is doing. And I was reading in the Rolling Stone that the band The Velvet Sundown.
Saw this.
You see this?
This is incredible.
They have just surpassed 1 million monthly listeners on Spotify. And The Velvet Sundown, the band, they have admitted they are AI.
They're not a band. They're not even a real band.
It even says now on their Spotify bio, it says The Velvet Sundown is a synthetic music project guided by human creative direction and composed, voice, and visualized with the support of AI.
Oh, it's like Jelly Roll.
This isn't a trick. It's a mirror, an ongoing artistic provocation designed to challenge the boundaries of authorship, identity, and the future of music itself in the age of AI. It is like a top song now. It's called Dust on the Wind.
Dust on the Wind.
Dust on the Wind. Yes.
Sounds very AI created.
All right, let's hear it. I got to hear. I have not heard it yet. Excited.
Dust on the wind.
It's Jelly Roll.
Boots on the ground.
Oh my God.
Smoke in the sky. No peace found.
1 million monthly listeners.
So the lyrics, just like the name, has taken what we already know. What's the famous band? The Velvet Underground.
Right.
And so what is this one called?
Dust on the Wind.
No, the band.
Velvet Sundown.
Sundown. So they've taken, Sundown is a song by Gordon Lightfoot. Yeah. Velvet Underground. Dust in the Wind is a song by Kansas. Smoke on the Water, you just heard
Deep
part
Purple,
of that.
Yeah.
Deep Purple. They've just smashed up different bands and lyrics and songs and tunes and turned it into one thing. That's what AI does.
Yeah. It's not great.
It's not original. It just has a lot to draw from.
And the picture of the people is fake, right?
Yes.
Like
I believe it. The whole thing.
The whole thing is just a bit. Do you feel due? If you heard this, like, oh, new music discovery, this band, The Velvet Sundown, check them out. Okay, that's not bad. It's up my alley. You're like, hey, man, that's computer generated.
I think a little bit. You
feel a little duped? Do you feel stupid? Or do you like, I don't care. It sounds good in my ears.
I feel dumb if I liked it.
I feel dumb if I liked it. Satan's Blowfish says, can't wait to see them at Petco. Yeah, Gallagher Square. Yeah, could be out there. Never know. Velvet Sundown. Yeah, we're getting duped every day. Every day. My wife messes with it a lot. I showed you guys yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
They were having lunch, Grandma and Bo and Hannah, and they said, what would Bo look like with short hair? And they took a picture of him, put it into Chat GPT or whatever it is, and they sent it over, and it's wild. I mean, it's absolutely wild to see what he looks like with short hair. Crazy. And I didn't like it. He didn't like it either. They did a buzz cut on him, too. Not great.
It's a little scary. It's a lot scary, actually.
Yeah, it is.
All right, that is it for us on a Tuesday. Braden's coming up next. We will rejoin you tomorrow, hopefully to talk about a Padres win at 6 a.m. for our executive producer, Paul Reindl and Stephen Woods. I'm Ben Higgins. Have a great rest of your day from all of us here at San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. So long, everybody.